Good evening, everyone. This is RollingSwarm, and we've learned our lesson from yesterday. We're definitely not muted. So already the stream is off to a better start for the final stage of the Qualifiers Tournament to the Professionals Tournament on the EU server. In theory, we're following Win, who is next, the all-Finnish esports Clan Wars team on the EU server. Had some chats of Wargaming earlier today. We are missing the first round for technical reasons, which I just simply do not understand and won't pretend to try and explain to you. We're missing that first round, which, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. But the good news is the stream is up and running. Also, I've got Blitz Assistant ticking over here. So it looks like the stream is good. Music from No Copyright Sounds is playing well in the background. Volume's good. Stream is good. We're good. We're good. This is happy days. Great to have you all tuned in here watching. I can see we've got Ryder, Kage, a couple of the other mods on stream. Thank you very much, guys, for lending a hand, moderating the chat. And lots of good names in the chat there as well, like Pirate Storm Barbosa. Yes, what a great name that is. So, just to confirm, I've seen a couple of you asking. There are no coins available for this stream to the best of my knowledge. As we did with the Twister tournament last year, when there are coins available, that will be announced and explained in the video description below. And there's a bit of a process. If it works the same as it did before, there is a bit of a process to kind of getting those. It's not quite as simple as just watching the video on my channel. So, to the best of my knowledge, we have no coins up for grab on this stream, so apologies if you're here for the coins. But all I can promise you is some great tank-on-tank action from the EU server. So we've got a bit of a time to wait before the next round. We should be getting an invite in. I don't want to kind of jump into a replay. I'm not sure when the next round starts, but we'll do a bit of housekeeping first. So first up, we'll jump into the whole crate shenanigans if my computer can keep up with me. Good lord. Oh, we've got a big container. Boosters! Of course, of course. And if you can hear a dog barking in the background, that is my boy Rogue. I think the neighbors next door are moving some furniture around, or just moving house in general. So, apologies if you find that distracting. We love him dearly. Right, wait. Those were some great crates. That was good. That was really good. Okay. So, yeah, we're definitely not muted. Oh my god, we're having nightmares about that for the whole of next week. Actually, let's see here. We can't just bring up... well, let's see what the tournament structure looks like in game. I know that they've been having a bit of an issue with... This is a professionals tournament. So the professionals tournament... Interesting. Very interesting. Huh. Seems that my my stream deck has crashed. That's always kind. So I'll be doing it manually on OBS. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We'll be okay. We'll look into that. So the registration for the professionals tournament is up. Obviously, no one can register yet because no one has qualified. Streams. Oh wow. Okay. The thumbnail's updated. This is already leagues ahead of where we've been in the past. So let's have a look at the charts. Final stage. A couple of teams advancing straight through to the semi-finals. This being calculated on win rate. And if you, like me, you've been on the official World of Tanks Blitz Discord server today, you've been seeing a bit of a debate there about how the seeding is being calculated. As it's been explained to me by Wargaming, the top 7 win rates from each team are used to calculate the seeding, and the seeding is done strongest to weakest based on win rate. Unfortunately, the game displays the team average win rate, so it can be a bit misleading. But if you can calculate the average, the top 7 average for each team, that will give you a bit of an understanding about the. Let me just see. So yeah, this is confirming with Ryder. Sorry, there is a 5-minute delay. But just confirming that all languages are okay in the chat. So, no invites yet. So that's just me chatting away to some of the mods. Antonio MM40 asked if I cut my hair. Yes, I did. I cut it myself when I did the easy way out of just doing the whole thing. I even trimmed the beard myself as well, which that's not too shabby. Anyway, we're following, in theory, Group 9. Well, not Group 9, sorry. We're following the group with Win in. Are they Group 2? Sorry, Group 9 was from the first stage. This one. Okay. And their game... most confusing. So it looks like Win have already walked over Demo. That's impressive. And the next one... Okay, now the clock is confusing because I'm in Central European summertime now, which is CEST. And that means that by me, the time is currently 7... Well, it's about 10 minutes past 7 p.m. So I'm assuming that this one is still using CET? Oh, that's confusing. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Okay, well, we'll wait to see. But obviously Win have played the first game versus Demo, and that will have been played recently. And the next one should be happening in about 20 minutes, I want to say, but I'm not sure. So what we're going to do is we're just going to hit up Win on Discord just to ask them win their next game. Okay. So we're just gonna have a quick chat. Because we're just gonna have a quick check with the captain to confirm, because I don't have the timer in game, so I can't see when their game is. Obviously, we haven't received a tournament invite, so that's okay. We haven't missed anything that was already coming to us. So just confirming now. Yes, so the next game is in 20 minutes. In theory, we will be tuning in for that one. I'm just going to check what maps they're playing on. Well, let's do that. So it is in 20 minutes. The whole Central European summertime has thrown me for a 6. So WIN are now in the semi-finals upper bracket. Their next opponent is Oops. So basically they played Demo. Maybe we can close that one down. Fantastic stuff. In theory we're streaming WIN. Just responding to Antonio. No. To Hoshek. So we're waiting. We're waiting for that invite. We won't miss it. They played Demo, which is obviously a solid team. Average win rate of around 58.6, but that's the overall win rate. So I guess if you scratch off the 53 and the 55, it's probably closer to a... still just below 60, but probably closer to a 60% win rate. Following WIN, average of basically just under 64% on the whole team. But if you remove Torpedo Killer and Triple T from that calculation, you're probably looking closer to 65, actually, I would say, on terms of the win rate. Maybe someone can do the quick math for me. I've learned the hard lesson. I can't. I mean, I can count. I can do the basics. But when it comes to doing quick math on stream, forget it. It'll never happen. So we're just waiting now for the invite. 20 minutes, but this is WIN. Let's actually have a look at their next opponent and the maps. So they're playing on Black Goldville. Tiebreakers Canyon. Canyon's a good tie-breaking map. It's one of my favorite maps. Black Goldville is a bit of an interesting one. It's the meta is well established. You basically got, well, we'll get to that. Let's have a look at their opponent. Oops. Oops, a very strong team actually. Recognizing this name, no others ringing any bells. I think it looks like a few of them. Actually, that being said, Sheridan from Legion, another one of the Legion players that's still active, moving to another competitive unit. Obviously, this is the first tournament on the EU server since Twister 2016, the first major tournament where Legion have not been present, and that's a big deal. That is a huge paradigm shift on the EU server. And there's still a few players from that clan, such as Sheridan here, which have moved on to other pastures, shall we say, other teams. Which is nice to see that there's still some players from that era hanging around, playing the game, even though maybe Thomas and some of the other of the core team from Legion have moved on for various different reasons, opening up the field for the competitors, shall we say. But yeah, so Oops. Well, they beat RO1, 2-0 as well. They had quite a smooth ride, beating a less capable Oops in the first stage yesterday. But this group Looking at the second group, actually, let's try and see if we can't go to... Interesting. Let's see if we can't do that. Okay, for whatever reason, my Stream Deck is not cooperating, so we have to do it manually. But that's not the end of the world. There we go. So this is the WoT Blitz Assistant app, which is quite handy, if I do say so myself. You can check out lots of different things. I'm just going to log in as a guest on the EU server. It's a great resource for all sorts of things: clans, players, tanks, Tankopedia, news, tournaments. You can even download wallpapers and things when the data doesn't fail to load. Come on. But let's see. Okay, we're now in the tournaments. We need to go to the current tab. Qualifiers. Final stage. Group 2. Okay. So this is actually what I was looking for. It's a better display really of the group structure. So 8 teams in the group. It's double elimination. So basically, for those of you who don't know, double elimination basically means if you lose versus 2 opponents, you're out. So it's slightly more forgiving than a single elimination. Obviously, a single elimination, as soon as you lose a match, you're out. This one has a teensy bit more leeway in terms of making the qualify. Well, in terms of qualifying and progressing to the next stage. So Win, Oops, Eros' Evil Unicums, this is a Russian-speaking team, and VM8. They're all 1-0. These guys are now 0-1. And so what we're seeing is Win playing Oops, Evil Unicums versus VM8, and whatever's happening down here. So at the end of the next round, we'll have 2 teams knocked out. So it's quite an interesting format. There's a lot of shuffling backwards and forwards. In theory, you can win a double elimination group of 8 in 3 matches. You win your first fixture, the quarterfinals, then you win the upper brackets, and I think you go then straight through. I think you can do it in 3. It's 3 or 4. It can be pretty speedy. No, it's 4 matches. You can win it in 4. Because what will happen now is the winner of Oops and Win, Evil Unicums and VM8 will play, and then the winner of that match will go into the grand final. So that's within 3 matches you can make it to the grand final stage. So you can win a 8-team group double elimination in 4 games, assuming you don't lose any. If you lose 1, you're going to be playing 5 matches. These matches, of course, are best of 3, which is particularly unforgiving. It's the first team to 2 victories wins it. So basically you have 1 map where you switch the spawns and the tiebreaker map. And after those 3 games, you'll have a winner. It's quite brutal. There's very little room for error. It's good because it means it's quick. You can kind of progress the tournament faster. You're not sat around kind of waiting for the results to come in. But it's tough. And although, for example, like at the moment in this group, you know, Eros, Oops, and who is next these are the kind of the 3 favorites, at least in my eyes. You know, they're good. It means that they don't really have a lot of room for error in any stage of the tournament. So let's just see now if we can't bring up a strat sketch type thing. Okay. And we'll just create a briefing. WoT Blitz. Strat sketch. Look at this. Magic. This is strat sketch. For those of you who are playing tournaments and don't use this kind of resource yet, you're really you're missing a trick. So www.stratsketch.com brings you to this page, and you can from here create your briefing. So we're playing, well, World of Tanks. The map that we're playing on first is Black Goldville, which is there. We're playing Supremacy game mode. We'll give it a title. And this brings you up the session. So here, yeah, you can see, let's just quickly get the little pinger on. That looks nice and clear. And we still haven't received the game invite, but it should be coming through any minute now. But basically, you've got the 3 caps. A, which is the medium cap, kind of up the hill. You've got the teams can go up here. You've got the cave area around here, which is very important. B in the middle, which is a bit of it's the linchpin cap. Typically, teams will either go for A or C in the city. And then we'll have to kind of push their way towards controlling or denying this cap, depending on what position they're in terms of cap points. Let's see if we can't just do some little drawing here. So typically, tank teams will be running. Look at that, amazing. Teams will be looking to get control over A with a fast or light tank. Obviously, this really depends on the tank composition of both the green team and the red team. Whichever team has a dominant sort of mobile element to it will typically push up towards A more confidently, although some teams can be very sneaky and take their very heavy formation up and just steamroll A if the enemy mediums and lights are not paying attention. So you typically see a lot of play around A, but quite passively depending on the lineups. Most teams will try and control the B area, which, interesting. We need this one. We don't want an arrow. So basically B, this kind of area here, is a bit of a brawl zone. And there are lots of different ways of basically covering B without being near B. We'll see, and maybe when we start seeing some players moving through on it a bit more, you'll kind of see that teams will either... B is not something you push in on aggressively. And my god, those are just the worst lines that I've ever done. I do actually know what I'm talking about, like, some of the time. But this kind of brawl area here for B. C is interesting. C is an interesting one. What is really important, actually, is if you can get control of this area here. Don't know why we've got an arrow. But if you can control this area here, it gives you a tremendous advantage in terms of controlling the C cap. Because as soon as you get control of the corner, you've really got these lanes of fire out across C. And you've got a lot of cover. So this map, it's big, but there's actually a lot of fire lines. Teams, if they can get good control over A and the kind of this elevated hill area, they can actually get great crossfire in across the map over B and into the city area. So teams that go for C almost 100% of the time also need to control B and have tanks hull down proxy spotting on these ramps. It's a bit of a risky formation. So the meta is, we kind of know what to expect. It's hard to explain, but we sort of know what to expect in this format. And we're going to have the thing coming up any minute now, the invite. So I'm keeping my eye on the game. I've got my eye on the chat. This is stressful. I'll be happy once we have an invite in hand, and we are actually enjoying some gameplay rather than me rambling on. But this is Black Goldville. They'll play one spawn, then they'll rotate the spawns. I'm anticipating, if we're seeing Win, I'm anticipating some very dynamic gameplay. Win they love a bit of a curveball, and their strats are a little bit atypical, which is why I enjoy following them. I've not really seen Oops play, so let's go now to the garage cam. There we go. I've not really seen Oops play in a tournament setting. I know that the players are very good. They've got good stats, but I don't know really what to expect from them in terms of tactical prowess. Win, I know I've got a good track record in tournaments. They narrowly lost to C4 in the top echelon tournament in 2018, and just missing out on the wildcard slot for Twister. So the Win are a top tier team. Certainly in my mind, they're top 10 on the EU server. But it's going to be a tough fight for Win this evening. They've really got a lot of things to prove. But if they, they dig in, keep their minds clear and focused, they should be able to pull this one off. But we do have to sort of see on that one, shan't we say? So, chat's good, stream's good. Stream Deck is not good. I mean, for whatever reason that is, which is obviously completely out of my control. Waiting for that invite. Would really like an invite to come through. Okay. Notionally, any second now. Just have it. Oh, we're following arrows. Okay. No offense, arrows, but like, no offense, arrows. But we are... Well, the good news is the maps are still the same. And let's just get the camera in the right place now that we've lost our wonderful Stream Deck facilities. So, well, well, I mean, we've been talking about Oops and Win. Now we're following Arrows, and their opponent, Mav, proud to be Mav. Same map at least, so the strategic shenanigans that we were speaking about earlier, those still hold true. We're going to stay ready. We've got 3.5 minutes. Let's talk a little bit now, because we're not following Win, we're following Arrows. My condolences to Win. I know you guys are really... We're really hoping for some coverage. Oh my god, don't I want to give you that coverage. But unfortunately, it is not to be. Oh, it looks like we're not limited by spectators. Interesting. This is also something worth noting. Teams can have spectators in at the moment, which is interesting because it means that team captains can technically captain the game from spectator mode. They don't have the same spectator mode as I do. They can only see their own team. But it's interesting. This is the first kind of major tournament where that's been a feature. Which is, well, how to say, it's pretty cool. So anyway, that's the Stream Deck plug-in. Let's see if we can just unplug that, because it is dead to us. Aeros are basically the players of this have got a very long history in Clan Wars, esports, and tournaments. They are... You probably will recognize a lot of these names from Legion's big game team. They were always, when they were part of the Legion clan, always kind of an independent Clan Wars unit. And obviously after Twister 2018, they split off to form their own clan, Eros. The reason why it's with the 0 is because they made the Eros clan before with the O, and obviously they deleted that or couldn't get back in for whatever reason, so that clan tag was lost. So now it is Eros with the 0. So that's pretty cool. Although the team name is Eros with a capital O. So the players on this team, I mean, there's former Legion. We've got NG, and he's one of the Twister Squad guys as well. So a big name on campus here from NG. Vupsi and Romka. Well, Vupsi's played a lot in First Alliance. Romka R2K. The guys in this team are kind of bonded by friendship. I don't know how you describe it, but we've all kind of gravitated together. And it's a nice dynamic in the clan, if it is a little bit competitive at times. Veta, Karalik, RG, Shock, Nico, last. Mav. 1 minute to have a look at Mav. Clan profile. Italian, an Italian clan. That's good. You don't really see a lot of Italian clans. Mav, good average damage, good battle count numbers as well. I'd say they're still quite a limited personnel, like a limited roster number. I would say that they're still slightly behind their I would still say that they are definitely the underdogs in this encounter. It shouldn't be too tricky for Eros to take this one. Fingers crossed for Eros, of course. It's my clan. I am rooting for them. But let's see what spanner Mav can throw in the works. The timer is ticking down. We're going into the battle. Got to make sure that our free cam skills are on point. We're going in. Black Goldville. Eros taking double IS4. 268 Chaser. 140 Terror. T62 Alpha. Double WZ113s. And we're elevated free cam. Eros, red team, south spawn, Mav, blue team, north spawn, Mav with the Batchat 25T. That is Spit Kevin. Nice camo, musketeer camouflage. They've got double IS4, IS7, 268, T110E5, and a WZ113. Eros between NG and Vater actually have dominance on A, although Mav have got the Batchat. The Batchat won't be able to outperform in terms of damage and durability versus Vater and NG. So great tank choice by Eros. They've got a nice sort of early cap lead here. They're going to have about 25. They're leading by 25 cap points. It's less than a kill's worth of difference. And Mav capping out C now. Chapo. He is Chapo. I'm going to say Chapo. Chapo on anti-98, pushing into B. Eros not really in a position to contest B. This is great to see. And Captain Arcase, he goes down early, and Spit Kevin is in a world of trouble. Gets one into Vater, but he's getting chased now by Engie. Dodges two. NG and Vater on the hunt. Does Spit Kevin have it? He's on fire! Oh, he's hanging on with 3 hit points. Does he have any support? No, he doesn't. He is all alone. And it looks like RG is barreling in. Well, it's a gun advantage to Eros. They are a cap down, though. And it looks like Vater, well, Shock's taking some damage. Spit Kevin is hanging on by a thread. Vater looking to pick up the kill. Gets it. Using the terrain elevation there in his favor. Now it is Von Manstein in the 268, relatively isolated. Vater and RG pushing past him. No, Vater and NG double teaming the 268. RG moving it into the middle. And we've been following that outside action, but it's been going downhill for the Blues in the middle. Captain Arcase lost connection, it seems. And there goes Chapo to RG and Chippo to Shock. And we've got 2 men standing. It's Vlad in the IS-7. Dodges a shot from Nico, takes one, and it's going to be RG with the kill shots. Beautiful. And Vater picks up the kill shot. on the 268. And that is a convincing and rapid-fire win for Eros. And Ali Mossa 2017 sending the friend request. Good to see you, buddy. One of one of the competitors from the 2 vs 2 Elite League tournament, community run. Looking at the damage numbers on the board. Whew. Whew. That's exciting. Double damage. Karolek in the IS-4 going down, but he was a tough price for Mav to pay. Close to 4k damage in a tournament. He'll be sure that Karolek pulled his weight there. And it looks like, well, now we're going to swap the spawns, going back into Black Goldville. The question is, how can Mav flex to adjust to what they've just encountered from Eros? And the answer is we don't really know. I'm not sure. Looking at the battle count that Mav have, they should have a lot of tier 10 tanks at their disposal, so they shouldn't be limited in terms of tank choice. Certainly Eros have got the ability to kind of really choose lots of different tier 10 tanks. And they really push to unlock as many of those as possible. So 40 seconds to go. It looks like Mav are taking a very similar lineup. Possibly exactly the same lineup as they took before. Eros, well, RNG switched out for a 215B. Vater and NG are back in the Russian mediums. Shocks in a 268 again. Nico in the IS-4. Karolek back in the IS-4. Last. It looks like there's a last minute change here. Triple IS-4, 2 Russian mediums. British heavy, Russian TD for Eros. It's a nice balanced lineup. Similarly, Mav also taking a bit of balance. They lack the firepower to secure A early on. And this is what we're talking about in the strat section on Strat Sketch. Basically, Eros here have a significant advantage on A. Mav can counter this by pushing up to A, but this would really open up the BC section of the field for Eros, and it's a risky strategy to send the heavies up to A in a tournament. So, Mav sending Spit Kevin in the back chat 25T once more all the way up to A. Eros again, NG in the T62 Alpha. He's going to play up into the caves. Vater will play a shallower route into... And that's Spit Kevin already in trouble. At the same time, RG is taking a bit of fire. He's covering B. We were talking about you don't need to be on B to cover it. RG, Karolek, and Shock here all denying B at the same time. We've got Vlad in the IS-7. This is the spot we were talking about. This is the kind of positioning that's really strong. Eros with an early cap lead, less of a cap lead, only 10-15 points. Vlad in a nice position to get crossfire here on Karolek, Shock, and the 268. He's got support from the WZ113 and IS-4. NG and Vater pushing in deep. Spit Kevin having to pull back. Anthony 98. He's turning in to support. The 268 again turning into support, but Mav holding onto the hit points better. They're still... Well, actually, hit points are much, much closer this time round. Although Eros is starting to chip away, it's almost a 1k hit point lead in the favor of the red team. Eros starting off on the north spawn this time. B is still defended well by Karolek, RG, and Shock. They need to make sure that they don't get pushed on from the C area. Chapo can't cap B. Captain Arcase in the WZ113 is looking to support. NG is in a bit of a bind here. He's taking some fire. He's not in a very strong position. He's getting a lot of angles of crossfire coming in. And coming in to support is Vater. And Anthony is the mark. He's going down potentially. Can he get one more into Vater? Yes, he can. Vater goes down first. Spit Kevin, though, on a drum reload. He's got now 3 in the chamber. Eros in a bit of a... good shot into NG. Eros' left flank falling apart. They've managed to take down Anthony, though. NG in trouble. Really, and Spit Kevin finally goes down. Feld looking for the kill shot, doesn't quite get it. NG's lucky to survive that one. Last, looking to hammer the 268. At the same time, Eros, we've got Nico covering the middle. Captain Arcase and Chiapo pulling in from that flank. And Shock, RG, Karolek getting it done, taking down Vlad. Now Chippo 2103, he's alone, in trouble It's 2 guns down for Eros, 3 guns down for Mav. Eros have done the unthinkable, and well, they've done a really good job, and they've turned the hit points so firmly in their favor, and it's going to be, well, we've just lost 2 more. Shock taking down Captain Arcase, Karolek bouncing, Chippo, RG gets a shot in, Karolek looking for the flank shot. Chippo will get 1 more in, potentially. Oh, he gets 1 more in, and Karolek bounces. Last takes down Chiappo. It's Chippo is the last man standing. Gets 1 more shot in. Karolek finishing him off, and there was so much happening in so many different places of the map. It was insane. But this one, you can see Mav rallied here. Much better performance for the Mav heavies. Feld von Manstein Jr. Solid performance in the 268. Certainly good spotting by Spit Kevin, backed up by the T110E5, Anthony 98. Mav held on to that kind of their spawn flank and stopped NG Invader coming in so effectively. I think kind of Mav's... It kind of fell down in the middle. I think they just got outplayed. Certainly it wasn't a bad strategy run by Mav. And Eros were a little bit closer to losing it towards the middle. But they rallied, and there was a point where Eros had 6k hit points. Mav only had 2k. And it was then, you know, it doesn't really matter how many guns you got on the table. With that kind of hit point advantage, it is just a matter of mathematics and certainty. So that's the first one. We've seen Eros. I don't know if we're going to go back and see... I don't know if we're going to see... if we're going to see Win or Eros next. Really, your guess is as good as mine at this point. I'm assuming I'm gonna go with what we've got here, and I'm assuming that it's I'm assuming that we're going to be seeing. Oh yeah, we'll accept the friend request. Sure thing. I'm just gonna leave the camera where it is because for whatever reason my hotkeys have they've died. So you know, not ideal. You're not missing much from my garage. You know, it's just many tanks. So let's go and have a look now at the chart. I'm not sure what group Eros are in, actually. Let's just go find the team. Okay, group 6. All right, we can work with group 6. We're in the final stage, group 1, group 2, blah, blah. At least this is working this time around. So proud to be Mav. They've been knocked out. We're still waiting for Eros' next opponent. It'll either be Kraken Esports, which is a very good team, well established, French speaking, I believe. They could be a bit tough. They're playing Tesher. We're still waiting for the results of that one though. Tesher, I believe, are a Spanish team. And again, a very storied clan. They've been around as long as I can remember in terms of the clan scene on WoT Blitz on the EU server. So let's see. I'm gonna go and see if the Blitz Assistant app is any more use to us now. Actually, yeah, this is quite good. Can I move it manually? I can. Okay, so this is Group 1. No surprises here. Ready to Kill are already through. If they win this next one, they'll be playing... Well, they'll be playing against First or Noob's Army. Exegy. Not sure. So the winner of that will then be through to the grand finals. It looks like IP Easy Win are out. Obviously, we can't see the results in Blitz's system, which is a bit of a pain. Group 2, we can see... Win. They did beat. So here we can see that I think these guys are out. These guys are now playing off again to go through. But Win beat... Oops, now they're playing Evil Unicums, the other Aeros team. That's probably their, like, I don't know how to say it, probably the toughest opponent in that group. But very encouraging to see them beat Oops. So Win going through in Group 2. Group 3, First Alliance, FBI. Quite a hot group here. We've got ESP. I mean, they're not too shabby. Low average damage relative to some of the main teams in the tournament, which we're seeing over 2k. But really good win rates on the board here. Shootnik over 70k, over 70%, sorry. So that's pretty good. But FBI, First Alliance, that's not too much of a surprise. I would personally back First Alliance. Just they've got a pedigree. They've got some really strong players. But FBI, the French Spaghetti Invasion clan, have been training really, really hard over the last couple of months. And certainly they are capable of beating First Alliance. And if they don't beat them in the finals, the upper brackets, if they beat their next opponent, they will get then through into the grand finals for another crack at it. So, but probably First Alliance and FBI will play each other twice before this evening is through. Going to Group 4, well, was that Group 3 was FBI, Group 4. Another one which is quite interesting. Souls and Loka, very good. BHBP, the best Hungarian Blitz players. And again, a very old clan. They've kind of dropped down a little bit in terms of player retention and engagement in tournaments from what I've seen. But you know, they still have a very good reputation. So they could still potentially work their way back up. Again, also the Czech Predators. The clan's well known. Not the best stats in the world, but I wouldn't rule it out. But certainly Loka. This is what we're talking about, over 2k damage. And also, you know, they were in the top 8 of Twister. They were on the kind of the receiving end of a can of whoop-ass from the other teams. But they've been working very hard since here. And this is Trollocs D. That's another... and Dimebag Barrel, also former, I think both of these players, part of the Legion 2016 squad. So, you know, a lot of potential in the local squad. Souls, not really familiar with these players, but you can't argue with the results so far. They just need to beat probably local or BTR. Yeah, we'll take the friend requests. Oh my god, all the friend requests. They just need to... Probably Loco will go through into the upper brackets finals, not the grand finals of Group 4. In Group 5... Now this is interesting. Unicums are the favorites on paper, at least, certainly with like the Reckitt specialist. Eddie Bang Bang, that's another Legion core player. But Hapki, again... Now, I don't recognize many of these names, but the Hapki clan tag is another old one. Goes back several years. And they've always been kind of prominent in tournaments, but they've never really had a breakout season, so to speak. But maybe... maybe they can do this now. ESA, the other kind of front runners, there's some really good players here. And let's see. I'm sorry, but there is... You're just going to have to stop sending me. Hunter72 2017, thank you for enjoying the stream. Unfortunately, I am not accepting platoon requests this evening while I'm on stream. So, I'm not platooning with people on stream. I've got too many other things to think about. Like making sure that my microphone isn't muted, keeping the chat in order, not missing tournament invites, making sure the music is playing at the right volume in the background, and making sure that nothing crashes. I have so many programs open, you know, and that the dog doesn't knock down the green screen. So there's all these things in the back of my mind. So ESA, who did they lose to? They lost to Unicums. Okay, that makes sense. I think what we'll probably see in Group 5 is an ESA Unicums Grand Final. Not that it makes sense that ESA lost, but it kind of explains why they didn't win their last battle. Group 6, obviously we're waiting for the results of Krakers and Tesher. So that one should be coming through any minute. Any minute now. It's obviously still going on. Eros' next match will be coming up in about 15 minutes, so we should get an invite through in 10 minutes. All things going well. Group 7. Well, this is a bit of a group of death. I mean, you're in with the World Champions raid. Poor LXN. God bless their cotton socks. This is the second. They were matched in the same group as raid in the qualifiers for the Twister 2018 online finals on the EU server. So, I mean. Oh, but they lost to Corpy. Did they? No, they beat Corpy. Well, anyway. Who did they... No, wait. Who did they lose to? They beat Corpy. No, they lost to H1ZN1. Now they're playing H1ZN1 again. I mean, Raid definitely going through to the finals. You'd be a fool to back anyone else. Appa are quite competent. I mean, if you look at the... if you scrub like the lower win rates, they've got quite a good seeding here. But it's a group of death because Appa are good. US, formerly known as MAC, another good clan. I mean, we've got Ghost Gunner 11, Diego, Lalo, Mateu. These are some very experienced players in the US clan. And, of course, LXN. I mean, there are no slouches either. The Diamond Dude, the Hang Off Dude, Penetrator Dude. Like, they've committed to the point where they've renamed themselves cohesively as a collective. And they're pushing 65% average win rate, close to 2k damage. I mean, it's a tough group. Group 7 is a very tough group. Group 8... Again, no surprises here. Unicum's second team, not as fierce as the first team. Looks like, yeah, Easy sent them back into the middle of the pack. Imor and Easy, well, Easy, they were one of the favorites for the Twister 2018 top 8. But, you know, they had a lot of big names, but they weren't very experienced. They weren't cohesive as a group. I was actually chatting to Mikey, the former clan leader Pramo, and he was having a look through the EU server, the kind of the teams and what was happening. And I said, you know, I think Easy are really good this year. And he said, yeah, you've got like a couple of big names in there, such as Ajdu and Jack Olev, like from R2K. But he said, and I am inclined to agree with him, there's a lot of phenomenal individual players in the Easy All-Stars team. But perhaps they just don't have the experience and practice playing together that some of the other clans do. So that could be a bit of a their undoing. Immortals, Immor, another clan that's been around for a very long time. They were kind of a break off from Imrek. Kager, one of the stream moderators here. Hey Kager, thank you for tuning in. This is her clan, her team. And I mean, Epic Elons is one of the best technical players that I've ever seen. And we've got Eagle Comets, Mr. Rain, Ninja, Unicorn, Thunder Steel. Like, there are some very, very competent players in here. And the advantage these guys might have is that they have been playing together for quite a while. So they have that kind of that synergy and cohesiveness. The question is, is that enough? That's what we're really looking for. So going back to Group 6, Tesher beat Kraken Esports. So we're expecting, but we're not promising anything. We were hoping to be following who is next win. It seems that we're not following them. You know, it seems that we're following Aeros instead. No shade to Wargaming, a little bit of shade. We should be getting the invite through in about 5 minutes or so. This will be a very interesting match because Tesha, now we're starting to get to the core of the competition, which is great. That's really nice. Certainly the first stage yesterday was more of a formality, just kind of knocking out the weaker teams, refining the pool of teams to kind of the best. And the strongest versus weakest matchmaker is really, really brutal, particularly if you're running a new or not very experienced, or like if your team doesn't have a very high average win rate for the top 7 players. You can get like first round matched against like some of the best teams in the game, and that sucks for those teams. But at the same time, I think it's so much better. It avoids, and I think Amonet and Bushker and the others would agree with me, what we saw in 2016, the qualifiers for Twister, was some of the best teams in the game, which should totally have deserved to be in the top 4, you know, to get through to the semi-finals, were knocked out like in the first rounds, just through the vagaries of chance and the matchmaking system. And that was even less fair. So, strongest versus weakest, it's not perfect. But it is brutal, and it does really cut through the heart of the issue to try and get the best teams as far forwards as possible in the tournament. So in that sense, it works. Obviously, for the teams that don't make the top 8, that don't go to the professionals tournament, there's always the Ascent tournaments and the top echelon, which was the basis for the wild card tournament leading up to Twisted 2018. So and that's still lots of competitive play. Doesn't have the cash reward though, or at least that hasn't been advertised by Wargaming, but the professionals tournament does. So we've got some things that we can advise Wargaming to tweak. Antonio M40 is saying Tercios. Is it Tercios? We're gonna, because I mean, it's great that we have like these kind of national or these kind of like language-based clans. It sucks though if you're a monolingual native English speaker, and the guy is from Finland, WinterWar, and who is next. At least they laugh. I try and pronounce the Finnish names, and I spend about like 10 seconds reading the name before I give up and kind of rename the person. Like Tumas from the Win team that's playing tonight. It's like, the room up invite is up. Wonderful. We're in, we're ready, we've got 5 minutes to go. First map is Fort Despair. Let's see. Let's see if we can't create another briefing. WoT Blitz. Fort Despair. Supremacy. Okay, we've got 5 minutes. And Tercios. There we go. Tercios. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You can correct me in chat if I'm just off. 3.5 minutes to go. Looking like they're going for a super heavy lineup. Of course, anything can change. That's why we have the 5-minute delay. There's no risk of Eros or Tercios seeing each other's lineups before the games start. It does mean that kind of reacting to any problems on stream and chatting to you guys live on stream, it's almost impossible. But we do what we can. So let's just quickly now go to Strat Sketch. Here we are. Here's one I made earlier. We're on Strat Sketch once more. And this is Fort Despair, the first map. The tiebreaker, I'm not sure. Let's just see. Oh, I don't know. We'll get to the tiebreaker when we get there. If we get there, of course. Dotted, an arrow. Basically, it's super important if you're going to play the outside area or want to control it. This blessed area here, you need to... No, not that. That's the wrong line. This area here, you need to control. And you need to use either the WZ-113, the fastest, kind of like one of the fastest heavy tanks, or Russian mediums, or an E-50. Like, you need to... Getting control of this area is just absolutely vital to sort of really... Let's just see if I can't... If you can control that area around A, you really... That's the kind of thing that you can do to the map. Everything on the left side of that yellow line is almost untouchable. And also you buy a lot of breathing room. Oh, our music stopped. Interesting. Yes, I wish to continue watching. There we go. 1.5 minutes to go. Obviously, if you've got control of... If you've got control of this area, I have no idea what happened there. If you've got control of this area, everything on the left-hand side of the yellow line is yours, which is great. You can also provide support to guys pushing on B. You stop the enemy team from kind of playing this area very effectively. But from my experience, I would be expecting Eros to kind of be playing a much more passive, kind of a passive stopgap on C, maybe a TD playing here and here, and some heavies locking here. I am expecting very passive play from Eros on this game, because they're finally against an opponent which could really stop their kind of, well, whatever they're doing at the moment, this kind of power march they've got going on. It could be a real problem for them. So I'm expecting passive gameplay from Eros. Tercios, sorry, no idea what to expect. Really, it's, you know. Lineups, though. This is what we were saying. Eros are taking 2 TDs, a 268 and E3. Now the question is, how are they going to use those? In terms of speed, Eros do have 2 WZ-113s. They could use those to control the A-cap. Eros, though, they've really got the advantage in terms of... Well, no, they don't. Tesher have got a nice lineup. Tesher, blue team, south spawn. Eros, red team, north spawn. Tesher, the T57, that's an odd choice. I'm not really a fan of the T57 in the competitive play. And it's the first, the win players, the Finnish guys will be very happy. Cortila from Tercios, he's rocking a VK72K. That's a tough position. But Maselrik in the T57, that's why I don't like the T57. It's so soft. And the T57's already taken an absolute beating. Shock in the IS-4, and we're not seeing any... No, we are. This is what we said. Look at this. We've got Alf and Pep
Pepuhito? Alf and Pep. This is where we were saying it's really important to control RG advertising. PewDiePie there on stream. Hashtag meme review. But it is Pep. Oh, that's a nice bounce. NG in the 268 going off the back of Pep's rear armor. Well, rear side armor. Alf and Pep got good control over A. We can get actually here down, and both teams playing very passive. This is a very typical standard EU lineup. And Pandemodium. That's not how you spell Pandemodium. Going for B. Tercios Mouse, and Pep's taking a bit of fire here as well. Loco Grizzly IS4 in a great spot. Shock taking a huge amount of damage. 745 double tapped. Looks like Pandemodium will be getting B. RG's coming in for the reset. And, Tesher also playing C. Eros being super defensive. Last gets a big hit into the T-57. The T-57 in trouble. Last now getting pushed on by a VK calling for help. Eros looking a little bit ropey here. They are leading in cap points, but he knows the T-57's on the long reload. He's going to burn down. Last is going to burn down Muscle. It'll be NG. NG to clear the field. Nico takes down Alf. Last fluffs the shot. NG with the kill shot on the T-57. Gets it. Takes one from the VK. Eros with a 3-gun advantage. They played passively. It's worked. Karalik goes down. Now Broker, Pandemodium, RG goes down as well. It's a 1-gun advantage to Eros. They've got 3k hit point advantage. So Nico pushing into A. Eros not paying any point into the cap here. Loco, Grizzly Bear gets a double bounce. Vater, well, Nico potentially going in through the rear. Vater, oh, Loco hanging on. NG goes down to the VK. It's 4-on-4. Eros, 4-on-2. That is not as dominant performance as they would be hoping for. Now Shock looking to get the kill shot in on Pandemodium. In through the side. Brooker with a hit, but he'll go down to last with a good roll. It's not good enough. It's Shock with the double kill. No, bounces. Brooker to take down Shock. Oh, it was should have been an HE shell. Eros cutting it fine. They almost lost that one. And it was on a knife edge there when we saw the T-57 and VK-72K from Tercios pushing in through C. There was a moment there when I thought Eros were in trouble, but I said I think they're going to play passively. They used the 2 TDs, sort of like how I thought they were going to use them. Now we're going to see the spawn swap. That was good. That was very good gameplay from both sides. Again, I think Tercios they need to step away from the T-57. It might work in tournaments versus less proficient teams, but against the likes of Eros, it's going to be so hard to use that T-57 effectively. The T-57, don't get me wrong, it's a dangerous heavy tank. Great burst damage, very short amount of reload time between shells in the magazine. Fantastic, closing tank, but in terms of operating effectively in the early stages, we saw it lost. I think it took 2 shots, close to 800 HP in the first 30 seconds of the engagement, pushing up into that little window area. So I really think that Tercios need to step away from the T-57. Doesn't look like they're doing that. Looks like Eros are stacking heavy on the IS-4s, quadruple IS-4s, double WZ-113s, backed up by RG in the T-110E3. Tercios, the Jaegerus seem to buff. Nice to see that now being explored in tournaments. I wouldn't be testing it against the likes of Eros, but that's just me. So, Tercios with a more varied lineup. We're seeing a kind of a greater diversity of tanks. Certainly the Mouse and Jaegeru will be heavy hitters for Tercios blue team North Spawn. really, that is going to be something to kind of keep an eye on. And Eros will be wary of the fact that they may not have the advantage. RG saying the Jaegeru will pre-aim. He's obviously, and this, as you can see, Eros, they respect Tercios. They are not giving them any breathing room. If you tuned in yesterday, you saw Eros walk all over Joe 46 clan. Not disrespectful, but confident. Here, Eros are playing very safe. They don't want to slip up at this late stage in the qualifiers. So NG and Karolek double IS4s. And they know because the enemy doesn't have a WZ113s, they can push out to A quite safely. It's going to be Alf, and that's another interesting play for the T57. This time spotting the A area. We've got Loco Grizzly Bear in the traditional IS4 spot, kind of hull down around B. That's nice, paying attention to the minimap. Both teams passive on C. And nice to see. This is a good spot for the T110E5. This is a nice window for him to play from. And it looks like Eros are making a play here. Alf in trouble. RG lining up the shot. He's got support from Shock behind him, playing the mirror spot to Loco. Pandemonium, takes a bit of crossfire there. That's a nice hit from Shock across 3 different window ledges. It looks like, yes, at the same time, the Jaegeru has been played very aggressively on C. And Veta takes an absolute hammering. Now Nico, can Nico reset C? He can't, but he's going to need to make sure that Tercios, don't push through that C area. The Jaegeru is relatively isolated. Vater and Nico could take him, but the Puyi, the E5 Rebel for Tercios is coming in to support. That's an essential play. So we've got a 2-on-2 around the C area. Tercios cap points advancing. Last takes a huge amount of damage. Alf looking pretty low though. Eros leading by over 3k damage. They're trading very effectively. Alf in trouble. Loco Grizzly Bear, Pandemonium coming in to support. Alf goes down to RG. The T110E3 operating very effectively from the central ridge. Shock takes the damage from Loco. Bounces Pandemonium. Pandemonium looking to put the pressure on B. Although they're a gun down, Tercios do have the cap advantage. And now they've leveled the playing field. Nico is in trouble. The WZ113s have been absolutely hammered here by the Jaegeru and the T110E5. Castella looking for a kill shot. Does he get it? Oh, the E5. Oh, Nico is thanking his lucky stars. The E5 blocks the shot from the Jaegeru. That is a huge misplay. Now Nico's pulling out round. We've seen 2 guns go down from Tercios in the middle. Last is coming in to support Nico. Nico's last finishes off the Jaegeru. Nico's engaging the T110E5. Broker takes down RG. It's now 5-on-3. Tercios are not out completely. The T57's on that long reload. When he gets 1 reload in, he should be able to take down NG. He might be able to help his teammate deal with Karolek. But NG is going to finish him off. And now the last man standing is the 268. And, well, Eros, they really salvaged the game around the A area. Tercios had a very dominant flank coming off of C. And great sportsmanship from Tercios there. Lovely to see. And reciprocated by Eros. So, that was good. And that was a very... another less close that game. Eros... kind of the sacrificial WZ113s. Veta taking an absolute hammering. The T110E5 Rebel. Huge damage numbers on the board. Blocked the shot, though, of the Jaegeru. But I don't know, even if they had been able to take down the WZ113s, the T110E5, and the Jaegeru were too far isolated, I don't think they would have been able to make a difference overall if they had managed to best those WZ113s and then come out together as a unit. But we'll never know. It's 2-0 to Eros. They walk away from that one quite happy and confident. And we are now... Well, now we are waiting. We've got, good lord, all the platoon invites. I'm not accepting platoon invites. I'm very sorry, guys. Now let's just double check when the next tournament is. Or when the next battle is, rather. Group 6. Their next match is in, well, 25 minutes by the looks of things. Of course, at the same time, Tesha's next match. No, it's in more than. So confused. No. Oh, there's so many games to be playing. This is awkward. So we've actually got a long wait now, because what's going to happen next is the kind of the lower brackets have to play. So first of all, lower bracket finals. Okay, so taking Group 6 as a case study in confusion when it comes to double elimination brackets. Aeros are now through to the grand finals. They've basically won. They've won all 3 of their fixtures. So kudos to them. They're in the grand finals. The final stage is Group 6, the grand finals of the upper bracket. They beat... they had a bye in the first round. So they went straight through to the semi-finals upper bracket. They beat Mav. Then they beat Tercios. Now, so yeah, they had a bye in the first round simply because of the win rates. There was meant to be 64 teams in the second stage, but it was reconfigured to 60 because we only had 149 teams registered instead of 256. So Wargaming did what they could to kind of restructure the tournament effectively and in balance. And in my opinion, it's worked. So that's good. So Aeros will be playing in another game in basically an hour and 15 minutes. Sorry. Now, if we're lucky, Wargaming will have set us onto random opponents in the next stage. So, for example, yeah, the next match is actually playing in 15 minutes. So, for example, Kraken Esports will be playing their next game in just over 15 minutes. So in theory, Wargaming said that they will send us in to watch other matches, but I don't know which match we're going to watch in those stages. So, I mean, I can only do what I can do. But let's actually now go over to the Blitz Assistant. This is going to be a long night. And see what the layout of the land is while we wait for that invite to come through. Get comfortable in our seat once more. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So R2K leading Group 1, they're in the... Well, they're not even in the grand finals. Oh, no, they are. They're in the grand finals. R2K, also similar to Aeros team, getting a bye in the first round based on win rate and however the seeding mechanic is working for Wargaming. So Group 1... And this is what we're talking about. So basically now, XG lost to R2K. They're now in the lower bracket finals. So they lost to R2K in the upper bracket finals. However it works. Basically, we now need to wait for a winner to emerge from there to play First Bad Comedian. And then the winner from that match will play XG, and then the winner from that match will play R2K. So it's a bit of a... I mean, it's not very well illustrated by Wargaming. But that's effectively what will happen. So XG, First Comedian are waiting for their next opponent. And they're playing... Okay, they're playing Public Enemy. in the final stage lower brackets. Okay. Yeah, so this is the final stage. Finals, lower brackets. So we're waiting. So Public Enemy are through. Now let's go back to the in-game cam. Because now my head hurts. It really hurts. Yeah. So Penn beat Ataturk. 1A team. And I believe that now Ataturk are out. Same as Fort. Yes, Fort are out as well. So what we'll see now is Penn, Public Enemy versus First Comedian. And then the winner of that match will play Exegy. And then the winner of that match will play R2K. So, I mean, in theory, you know, if Penn, like, they could have, like, a crazy run. But I doubt it. I doubt it. Going, of course, to Group 6, we can see that Paris went out very quickly. Double eliminations, basically you lose 2 matches, you're out. So they lost the quarterfinals upper bracket and then the lower bracket against Oops. So they went out first. Mav lost versus Eros and then Pax. So they're out as well, although they... Oh, that's tough. This is where the double elimination thing kind of kicks in because Mav beat Pax, lost to Eros, then lost to Pax. So actually what we're going to see is Oops are also... Oops lost to Cheshire and Kraken, so this Oops are out. So now the format, it's going to be Pax versus Kraken Esports. And then the winner of that will play Tercios, and then the winner of that will play Eros. So, I mean, if that has explained anything to you, if you feel slightly more like you understand what's happening on the double elimination format, that's good. I feel like I've learned something, which is similarly good. We're now waiting. We should be getting an invite through any minute now, so I don't want to start a replay or something. Maybe what we can do is just have a look, because in theory, all of the brackets for this one will be the same. So we'd be saying the next match is going to be Kraken, and they're playing on Oasis, Palms, and Castella. So we can just quickly bring up a new one. Oasis, Palms, Castella is an interesting map. And certainly at this stage, we're more likely to see a tie-breaking thing, because now the teams are getting more and more evenly matched. We've seen the beginning stages of the first stage, the first couple of matches. The teams were horrifically, like, I mean, you had amazing teams versus new teams. So Oasis, Palms, Supremacy, WoT Blitz, create that briefing. RIP Stream Deck. Go to Strat Sketch. So this is the Oasis Palms map. It's been reworked since its initial introduction to the game. Let's see. That's clear. That's good. We'll rock with the red pointer. So similarly to random battles, the C cap is the medium cap. It's very exposed, low slung chassis tanks with speed and mobility, like the T62 Alpha, like the Object 140, even the Batchat 25T to some degree can operate and try and cap C. But at this level, we're really not expecting anyone to let the other team get C unless they are focusing on a double cap AB. And that's typically what we'll see, is teams looking to get either C or A faster than their opponent gets the other cap. And then at the same time, either secure B or deny the opponent from getting B. Now, it's much easier. I mean, it's basically that the format is teams will cap A and B together. So, you know, you'll have teams kind of heavy focused, heavy dominant. Maybe with some lighter or more mobile, high view range tanks doing some spotting, some TDs operating in the backfield, and basically set up a nice defensive grid around here, looking to use cap pressure to force a lighter opponent to meet them in unfavorable grounds. I mean, certainly if you're rocking a double mouse, your opponent has got lots of mediums, you want your opponents to come into the city. So if you have 2 caps, you really force your opponents to do that kind of thing. Alternatively, you can see a team get real early dominance over C, clear out the TDs from the enemy side, dig in, get a nice early cap lead, and then deny B. But B is quite a tricky cap to deny, simply because of these rocks here. I don't know if we can zoom in. Oh, we can. Look at that. Oh, that's as far as we go. Basically, you've got these rocks here, and they actually, I mean, it's once you're there, if you drive a tank in behind those rocks, you can cap B. It's very difficult to get out then. So effectively, you are kind of putting a gun in the fridge for the rest of the fight, and in a very vulnerable position, because it is possible to get crossfire and lots of angles of attack on that position. So it's a tough one. It's very, very tough. So we're just waiting for that random invite to come through. Certainly Wargaming said, don't worry, Rolling, we won't leave you hanging for like an hour in between games of Win. We'll send you to go and see a random match. But obviously, we haven't seen Win, we've seen Eros, so you know, I'm not gonna hold my breath, and I don't recommend you hold your breath on that one either. But there's some more containers available, more boosters. Yay! Oh wow, we've been using our boosters in the tournament games. That's good. That's good. Oh, thank you, buddy. I know that I'm streaming, but I can't platoon and stream at the same time. It doesn't work in the kind of the tournament format. There are times to be kept to and the like. So let's go back into the game. We're waiting for that invite. So yeah, if you're watching, you're hanging in there waiting for the next game invite to come through. Be very interested to hear your thoughts. Which kind of 8 teams do you think are going to make it through into the pros? Are there any teams that have been knocked out that you think really should have made it into the pros? I think so far there aren't any teams that have been knocked out, at least to the best of my knowledge, that were kind of dead certs for the pros. So in that respect, the matchmaking has been good. We haven't had like any huge upsets, so to speak. Let's just check. It starts. Oh, okay, we get like an invite in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Now, which semi-finals lower bracket would we most like to see? First, Bad Comedian versus Public Enemy. I mean, I'm not super excited about that fixture. It's a good one. We'd love to see Win, but that's actually that's a finals lower bracket. Win. Lost to Evil Unicums. It's not a surprise, but like I said, they will have a chance. They just have to beat the winner of VM8 and Oops, and then they will get a rematch versus Evil Unicums. So fingers crossed for the boys from Win, that they're able to pull off the next 2 victories. So I'd be quite interested to see Oops versus VM8. Deadly Skill versus Unique Team, or ESP. This clan, very competent clan. We've got Free Spotter from there. A lot of their players, a lot of their main players are PC control regulars. So for them, touch-only tournaments are a bit of a bind. Oh no, WinterWar were knocked out. They had a good game. They beat ESP. I mean, Then they lost to FBI. Then they lost to ESP again. That is upsetting. My condolences. We're into war. BHP. Actually, this is Wargaming. If you're listening, if we're gonna get a random invite, I would like Group 4. I would like to see Loka versus BHBP. That would be a super interesting game to follow. Argo versus ESA. I think ESA are kind of not dead certs, but I would be very confident for them to walk away with the win there. That was Group 5. Group 6. I mean, again, well, actually, packs are pretty good stats on the board there. So maybe Kraken Esports versus PAX. Group 7, us versus LXN. That would be a fun one. That would be a fun match. I think LXN. We're in. We've got our invite. Oh, we've got PAX versus Kraken Esports. I mean, it's not the worst. It's not the best, but we do have a game. So, we're in. We've got 4 minutes to go. It's PAX versus Kraken Esports. 5-minute delay, so no risk of them stream sniping. So, we can be fairly confident that the lineups we're seeing here now will be going through and in. Kraken Esports, Orca in the Batchat 25T. Let's actually have a look at these players. I mean, when I look at players' service records, what I'm looking for from an esports kind of a Clan Wars tournament's potential perspective, obviously the number of battle counts helps determine their level of experience, and now it's quite good. The new viewing system, you can see the number of tournament games, the number of rating games, number of regular games. So that's very useful. So that's kind of tells me how many tier 10 tanks, what their level of kind of overall experience in the game is. So 40,000 is very high. I think I've got about 38, 37. Certainly anything over 20,000 battles is a lot of battles. It's a lot of experience. Then win rate. Win rate's important. But alongside win rate, average damage. Average damage is like a key metric. And what you'll see is a lot of the main Clan Wars esports players, they focus exclusively on tier 10. That's where the big prizes are. And as a consequence, their average damage numbers are very high. Anything over 1800 is good. But if you're looking for like the die-hard Clan Wars players, you're looking for over 2k. So Orca here from Kraken Esports ticks all the boxes. Lots of battles, good win rate, high average damage. In terms of the other players, we've got Captain Kraken. Lower average damage, but good battle count. Quinoa Noob. Shogun Kraken. Tej 204. Tristan. Kind of a weaker win rate overall, but and then also like the mastery badges here are quite informative, but he's in the platinum rating level, so that's not like you've got to kind of start considering multiple metrics. And then you've got the Phoenix, and this is, for example, this when I see this limited number of tanks, but I know that this guy plays a lot of tier 10 games, probably very specialized in the vehicles that he drives. So, and he's also testing the the Badger, and he's really doing it. But look at really high average tier 10 damage numbers, and like a lot of experience in the IS4. So, he's driving the T110E5. Looking at the lineups though, Kraken Esports, they're going, I'm saying that they're going to go for B. They'll probably use Orca to spot around the C area. Probably Captain Kraken in the 268 will cover C from the bush. WZ113 will push deep on A quickly. The Mouse will play in the middle. Double T110E5s are flexible. They can kind of go lots of different places. T62 Alpha will either back up the Batchat or the WZ113. So a nice free agent. Kind of 3 tanks which have got a lot of versatility on this map. Across the table, Pax, double IS7, double IS4, 268, Mouse, E50M. The E50M is a good choice on this map. It can come into the city and it can play on the flank, on the sea, the desert flank. So if you look at it, Pax have got the heavier lineup. So actually what we'll probably see is Kraken Esports making a dominant play for C. Maybe we'll see the 62 Alpha, T110E5 and Batchat. We'll see a 3-tank push for C. That will give them confidence to beat any, like, the E50M if it comes too far out that way. They'll have to be careful they don't take damage from the 268. We're getting ready. We're ready. We're good. We're going. We'll have a sip of tasty water. So yeah, my predictions: Kraken Esports making the push for C. Pax heavy, gonna try and dominate A, B. It'll be interesting to see that the pressure here is now really on Kraken Esports because they have to get C, and now the teams are just becoming aware of each other's lineups. Pax, I'll have to eat my words because they are gonna play a very aggressive C rush. The Mouse playing towards B. Both teams sending tanks through the river valley. Not an option I really considered. And that is nice. The E50M getting forced off. We've seen the E50M take some damage, and the Batchat 25T take some damage as well. And look at that, the 268 going out instead. Shells firing across the map. And we've got double T110E5s holding here. Tristan in the Mouse, giving support from the backfield. He's rocking the Legionary camouflage. No caps taken. Both teams making an aggressive play for C. My theory of the A-B strat kind of, well, put to rest. Although Squash, M1R, the Object 268 Chasers making a play for A. Similarly, Tristan in the Mouse for Kraken. He is making a play into the center. Both Mouse tanks. We've got, that's a nice camouflage as well, the 313. Both Mouse tanks playing in the city in similar positions, although we're seeing very similar positions here. But this is the first real cap pressure on the board. It is Squash, the 268 Chaser, making a very bold move onto A. This will give Pax nice early cap control. Good hit there into Tej 204. The Mouse is starting to exchange a little bit of firepower early on. Seems like Kraken are rotating round. And yes, they are. Oh, Tristan takes a bit more damage. Now the Phoenix and Orca, T110E5 Batchat. The Batchat is going to look to reset A. He's unspotted. But there is... Oh, they don't know that Tech Insys is there. Tech in the IS4. He is well, he's rocking the North American camouflage. Squash, if he gets rushed by the E5... Oh, the E5 picks up a nice bounce. And the T62 Alpha. And this is the potential first overmatch. Kraken Esports. Oh, that's a big hit. It could have been an HE roll, though. Tej is lucky. Squash is going down first. Casualty of the battlefield coming up. No, it's Tej. Eats a huge shell. Pax holding on. Squash in trouble. Eagle in the E50M barreling in for support, looking to pick up a ram on Orca. Gets the track. Oh, it's a big amount of ram damage. Orca with 3 in the chamber. It's all burning down around the A-cap. Pax playing really well. They are leading in terms of... They're leading in hit points and cap points, and they've got a gun advantage. They're holding on to that. Phoenix in trouble. Across the table, we can see Captain Kraken and Shogun Kraken. They're making a move on Bambizi, or whatever his name is. The Phoenix holding on for dear life. Looks like Pax potentially could be taking this one. They knock down Phoenix, but Eagle goes down to Tristan. He gets it, the IS-4. Tech gets it. And then in the middle of the field, Tristan's going down. Oh, this Maelstrom Pax. Axakali? Oh, but that's a nice hit. Captain Kraken. Huge shell sailing across the map. 3-on-2. We've got a very healthy Mouse. Double IS-4s versus Shogun Kraken in the T110E5. Misses a shot on Axakali. Axakali, mindful of Captain Kraken, doesn't quite connect there on Shogun. There's a nice hit point advantage. Shogun having to drop back. Captain Kraken playing the game from the backfield. Shogun will get rushed. I mean, the Kraken are really on the back foot here. We're now down to a 2-3. The cap points ticking over tremendously in the favor. And Captain Kraken looks away at the last, the most important possible moment, and that forces Shogun Kraken, forces Shogun into the guns, and that's a nice shot into Tech. And now Axakali will he's got the hit points to play with, over 1500. He can take 2 hits from the 268. He might take one here, using those rocks as soft cover. Misses the shot, takes one in through the cheek. Captain Kraken hasn't capped C. We've got 1 minute to play, 130 cap points on the clock. Captain Kraken, he needs to get this. This one needs to go in. It does! It's a HE roll, though. He will take one in return. Tech and Mesut playing safe in the back. Squash saying Rami. I'm assuming that means Ram in a particular language. I would hope it means Ram. But it's... and that's Captain Kraken takes down. But Tech and Mesut, they know that they've got it in the bag. Mesut won't give them any edge. And Tech, well, they've got A and B. It's a cap point win. Captain Kraken, 21 hit points on the board. Fluffs the shot on Tech. That's not enough. Went down swinging. And it was a very good game. Captain Kraken, 5,000 hit points worth of damage. Huge damage numbers. Kraken Esports, they almost had it on the push around the A area when we had a 3-on-2 overmatch in their favor, but they fluffed it up. They lost the T62 Alpha to the high damage potential, the one-shot, the 268 of Pax. Squash, that was key. It was key that he got 2 hits into the T62 Alpha. Because having that little Russian medium monster running around on the battlefield would have been an absolute nightmare for Pax. So there was a moment when Kraken Esports were looking dangerous, but Pax had the brilliant foresight to send the 268 Chaser into the A cap nice and early, got them the cap pressure, got them the control, and then their E50M, nice move. It was Eagle. He came across to support, and they got a gun advantage around the A cap early on. That means they had the protection around A, so they didn't have to worry about defending it, and then they just had to focus on the city fight, out trading, and that put them into a very strong position moving into the later phases of the game. That 3 versus 2, double IS-4 Mouse versus the 268 Chaser and the T110E5. So that was good. That was good. You can't ask for more in a Clan Wars game, really. That kind of those shifts of momentum where you're not sure exactly who has it until, you know, a lot of game time has already elapsed. Now we're ready. We've got 15 seconds on the clock. Looks like Pax are keeping the same lineup. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Kraken Esports are shifting it up. We're seeing a Foch 155. Bit of a novelty. Also an E50M. They've ditched the Batchat. They've ditched the T62 Alpha. So Kraken Esports going a bit heavier. Interesting choice, the Foch 155. I wonder what the reasoning behind that is. It's do or die, though, for Kraken Esports. If they lose this, they're out. Pax will then go through to the next opponent. So the pressure is all on the blue team here. Kraken Esports, blue team, South Spawn versus Pax, red team, North Spawn. Both teams with similar lineups, 1 TD apiece, 1 Mouse apiece, 1 E50M apiece, and then a myriad of Russian heavies. Looks like Pax favoring the IS-7, and Kraken Esports favoring the IS4. Some blind fire going across nice and early. Eagle alone. Look at the minimap. He's got a nice free reign there over C. That's nice to see. Blues moving en masse. Kraken Esports with an aggressive play on A. They will again, though, be slightly behind on cap pressure. The Foch 1-5 and the E50M playing. And this is nice rotations. Look at this. The IS4s from Pax playing in the river. The Mouse spotting up that central area, maybe acting as bait. The E50M burning round into the blue spawn. The IS4s hull down on B. Now the red team. Oh, their E50M takes one. Phoenix in trouble. This is what we're saying. He's trying to push in for B, but Tech and Misut are in great positions here to deny B. They can proxy spot B and they can get the shots in if anyone's trying to cap the B area. We've got the 268 Chaser and IS7. Two IS7s protecting C, 268 Chaser overwatching in the backfield. The Mouse locking down this part of the flank. No one can get past him really. He can take a lot of damage before going down. Hit points neck and neck. Blue team with a slight lead, although they are 10 points behind on cap. So the momentum is again in the favor of the red team. Blue teams are the guys that have to make a play happen. If the status quo remains, the red teams will be walking away with the victory here. Blues extending that cap point lead once more. Looks like Orca's playing a dangerous game though. No one off to his right. Eagle doing a great job. Opposite numbers spotting up Orca. Doesn't want to extend too far. He could push here. He can get a free shot in, but he doesn't want to overextend. Because there are guys... Well, they're not. They don't have an angle on him. And that was a nice hit from the 268 into Captain Kraken. And that has really brought the hit points back a little bit closer. Squash, very happy with that result. Says affirmative to the team. Aksakali. The Mouse really doing a good job of tying up these IS4s and spotting them. Oh my god, this is Turk, and Squash doing a good job of covering him. Squash relocating over. He needs to put some pressure now onto Orca. Squash looking for the blue E50M. Doesn't quite connect. Bamsib in the IS7. Kind of splitting his fire. Bamsib here. He's got a good line of sight. Good cover. He can kind of engage all of these blue tanks in the city. Kraken Esports, they've got just under 4 minutes of playtime to go. That is... But they're doing nasty things to this red E50M. Similarly, we're basically now seeing a trading situation. Both teams looking to maximize and potentially... Well, Bamsib's here supporting Squash. Has one in the chamber. Squash is lining up a prey. He's got the Phoenix in his sights. No, he doesn't. The Phoenix goes down to... Oh my god, this is Turk. Oh my god, this is Turk. Great crossfire, great support by the IS-7. The IS-7 isn't really a sniper tank, but it's being used like it. And useless Kraken takes down the E50M. Shogun going for Bamsib. Bamsib picks up 2 bounces. It's 1 gun down apiece. Red team still with the cap advantage. But now, well, Squash is looking for a nice shot into the Foch 155. Bamsib getting all of the bounces. There's 2 minutes, 200 cap points to play. Oh my god, this is Turk. Takes down Shogun. Orca with the kill on Bamsib. Surely he does get it. It's a slight... Oh, it's 2-2. Red still leading. Tristan needs support. Tech is the next call. Bounces Tristan. Tej. It's boiling down here. Aksakala and Captain Kraken going head to head. We're at a point now where... Oh, useless Kraken goes down. Pax in the ascendancy. But they've lost Tech. Oh my god, this is... Orca's going down. Kraken are going to be walking... Oh dear. Kraken are going back to the garage. There's nothing they can do. It's 3-on-4. They're so far behind. Oh my god, this is Turk and Mesut. Very healthy. Tristan looking low. Tristan going down to... Oh my god, this is Turk. It's going to be his 3rd kill of the game. He gets it. And that is GG to Pax. absolutely brutal Kraken Esports. There was a moment there when I thought the push was coordinated. It was gonna happen, but they just couldn't kill. They couldn't kill Bamsib. He didn't do much damage, but he soaked up an absolute ton, and that kept the fire from Kraken Esports really ineffectual for just enough time. Bought his team members time to come in and support. And if it wasn't for those key bounces, I think we could have seen Kraken Esports walking away with a win in that one. And that is 2-0. Orca playing very well. Same as Tristan in the mouse. But just not enough at the end of the day for Kraken Esports. And that is the end of their campaign to get into the Professionals League. Don't worry, though. Of course, there is the Ascent Tournament and the Top Echelon Championship to look forward to compete in, but not the Professionals. So going back to the chart, it's going to be Tercios versus Pax. Kraken Esports so close yet so far. And it looks like... Oh, there we go. We've just clicked randomly onto Free Revolution team. And oops. And so let's see who's through so far. Well, first, Bad Comedian team. They lost to Exogy Noob's Army. And now they worked their way back. And they are going to be playing them again for a chance to go and face R2K in the grand finals of Group 1. Group 2, Oops beat VM8 and have now rematched against Win for a chance to play Evil Unicums in the grand final. In Group 3, we're still waiting on the results of this matchup. ESP versus Deadly Skill. Deadly Skill lost to Joe 46. It's quite interesting, but managed to beat them, and they've returned to play ESP. So we're just waiting to see who's coming out of that matchup, and then they'll go on and play the other First Alliance clan. Group 4, Loka dispatched BHBP, and they will probably beat BTR for a chance to play Souls in the grand final. Souls haven't yet played Loka. Who did Loka lose to? That's an interesting question. Loka lost to BTR early on. Now that is very interesting. So BTR lost to Souls, but they dispatched Czech Predators. They dispatched Loka. And now they're playing Loka again, so it's another rematch. BTR, and not the favorites on paper. I would be expecting Loka. I would have thought Loka would have beat BTR before. Obviously, that wasn't the case. The best of 3 format absolutely punishing of any mistakes. So, Port Bay is the next map. Group 5, ESA did beat Argo. They're playing Unicums. Hapki into the grand final. That is... For me, that's a little bit of an upset. That's the first real kind of moment. But well played to them. They beat Unicums 2-1. Now Unicums will have to face ESA for a chance to meet Hapki again for a rematch. Group 6, we know that Pax are playing Tercios. Group 7, Appa are still waiting on their matchup. They lost to Raid 2-1. It's not a walkover. Elexan versus US. Still waiting on the results of that fixture. Going to be going through to a tiebreaker. Ooh. WinterWar versus HE49. That's a close call. I want to think that WinterWar will be winning it, but again, it's quite late in terms of matchmaking the results. It's probably gone through to a 2-1 scenario. Not sure who is in favor of. Imor to play Easy. Imor losing to Easy in the first encounter. if Immo can beat HE49 or WinterWar, they'll have a rematch. It was 2-1 though to Easy, so again, Immo have the potential there to disrupt Easy, one of the former Twister 2018 online top 8 clans. This is Unicum's 2 out. Oh my goodness me. Oh my goodness me. It's all happening on the EU server. We're super excited. And Antonio M40. Let me just reply to Antonio M40. But we're waiting. My goodness me, we're waiting. So the invites, well, 2108. Let's see. Back to the chart. This match. Okay, it's in 15 minutes. We've got time for a replay. I will play a replay rather than rattling on. Oh, how did our guys do? We don't know. Oh, we'll have to see after a replay. Let's see, what replays do we have kicking around? Show me a replay. Ah, and Red Right Hand. Great to have you watching. Thank you for the message in Discord, mate. Much appreciated. Alright, let's go into the Discord server. Let's go to our Good Game Club. Oh, we've got one from Oliver. Is this going to work with the update? No. Well, that's upsetting. That is upsetting. Okay. Let's see if we don't have any replays sitting around. Oh, we've got another one. From Kamoti. Yeah, let's watch that. No! Oh, the replay monster has killed my hopes and dreams. That is devastating. That is truly devastating. Okay. Anyway. Let's go to Scratch Sketch. What's the next map? I just looked at it, but I need to look at it again. Port Bay Faust. I'm not a big fan of Faust, actually. I think it's a little bit too chaotic. I don't think it really lends itself to pure strategy. I think it actually opens up the gameplay for good sort of individual skill and focus fire. Kind of like, which is important. It's very important in Clan Wars, individual skill. But I think Faust kind of overemphasizes that. Okay, we've got 8 minutes until the next fixture. So if we make a new one on Port Bay. Port Bay I like. I think Port Bay is an interesting map. Like Black Goldville, it's not like... It's not... It's old in terms of the Clan War scene. We understand what the different tactics are. There are no real at least to the best of my knowledge, there are no real super sneaky tricks that can be pulled. Okay, Fort Despair is old, and Raid still managed to, in the finals of Twister Cup 2018, pull a super sneaky trick. But those kind of shenanigans aside, I feel like we all understand the dynamic of the Port Bay map. I feel like there's nothing really that can kind of come up there which will be kind of look at it and go, what the hell are they doing? Like I feel like you'll understand, teams will understand what's happening. So this is Port Bay with the caps, as we know and love them. C is the medium cap area. Obviously you've got the routes from the spawns where you try and get a medium up here into controlling this area. It enables you to get cross shots, crossfire over. So if you're going for C, controlling this corner is vital. It's very tricky to do though in Clan Wars because teams will be using tank destroyers and kind of elevated positions around the spawn to get cross shots over to this area. So it's a tough one. So C is a tough one to play. Of course, if you overcommit your forces to C, you really open up the field for your opponent to go to town, quite literally in the town. And if a team can get A and B, it's possible to dig in really effectively in this city environment. Like there's the angles of the buildings, the roads, the ability for crossfire from a defensive position from the city. It exists, and this is one of the kind of the few city areas which I think is defensible quite effectively. So we'll have to really see. I think we're probably going to be following the Turcios Pax game, but you know it's your guess is as good as mine. But I would go for that. That would be my guess. So 5 minutes to go. We'll be getting an invite through in about 35 seconds. Set your watches from now. Looking at this, at the teams, what we saw from PAX so far was that they like getting early caps in heavy environments. They went for A on Oasis Palms. Now I know, and I hate to kind of transfer, and this is something that Wargaming have done in previous tournaments. They talk about a team like it has a particular approach or strategy in general. So they will take like, we saw them do them on this map. You know, they were favored very heavy tanks, so we'll see them favor heavy tanks again. I don't think that's the case. I think each team has like a kind of their approach is dictated by the map. I don't think one team favors heavies or mediums or lights in general. But from what we saw, I wouldn't be surprised if PAX didn't make a kind of a sneaky push for we're the first in, and we are seeing PAX. No, that's wrong. We've seen PAX. Can esports? Okay. Well, we've already seen this one. So that's slightly broken. So we'll have to just quickly inform Wargaming of these interesting shenanigans. And the music dies at the same time. Well, interestingly, now PAX are here as well. Oh dear. Oh no. And Ribs just confirming we've got an LXN raid, a German Clan Wars final. So I'm gonna cancel my panic to wargaming. But like, I'm not the only person that sees. Oh, actually, there we go. You can't see it. Good one. GG rolling, GG. So I had a little panic because I kind of came into this room. I was the first here. There was no one else here. And I saw it was PAX versus Kraken Esports. And I was thinking to myself, I think we've seen this already. And we have. We definitely just saw Kraken Esports versus PAX. However, I mean, it's not Kraken Esports. It's Tercios. That's the right team. This is the right team. We're in the right. And it's Port Bay. It's Supremacy. I mean, whatever. We're going to see a game in theory. So, you know, fingers crossed that it's just broken from my end. And when this doesn't affect the overall tournament shenanigans. But it's Tercios versus PAX. PAX bringing an M60 to the table. And an E3 makes me think that they are actually going to go to C, the M and two WZ113s. That's a strong leaning to the C area in my mind. Although certainly it's interesting. Actually, the PAX lineup could go to the City, could go to C, but I would be expecting if they were going for AB that there would be a Mouse or an E100 or a slightly greater number of Russian heavy tanks. Certainly looking at Tercios, they've got a Mouse stacked up. They've got the E50M and an E3 as well. So actually, yeah, you know, we could be seeing a duel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to call it. I've got my gut feeling is the PAX are going to play. Well, when they see the lineup, when they see the T62 Alpha E50M from Tercios, I get the gut feeling that PAX are going to try and play. But actually, no, because they don't have really an answer to the Mouse. But they've got more heavies on the ground. I think PAX are going to play for the AB area. And Kraken Esports will be, well, Tercios, sorry, I'm getting thrown by the name there. Tercios will make a play. Well, Tercios will have to split forces. I think they can dominate C. Not sure how they're going to be able to control the B area. That will be the thing. I don't think Tercios will play A. I think they'll try control B, cap C. We'll expect PAX to make a push for A. That's my prediction. Of course, that's just based on the lineups. Don't know what these guys are doing, but we're going to find out. We're going in. And this is a battle to play for the... to join Eros in the grand finals. The winner of that match, of course, going through into the professionals tournament, where the top prize is $3,000 for the winning team, which is not too shabby for playing a video game in your spare time in the evening. Extra points if you're doing it in your spare time at work. So, red team. Nope, I was wrong. Free cam is confusing the hell out of me. PAX, North Spawn red team, not going for AB. They've got a medium deficit, but they've got the WZ113. They've got two of those tanks, which are very fast. Now Eagle, he has got an absolutely vital role for PAX. He's spotted up Loco Grizzly. Traded. Loco Grizzly Bear takes a hit. So does Eagle. Marcel Rick in the T62 Alpha spotted. He gets a nice shot into Eagle. The M60 here. The turret really letting them down. And it looks like Tercios are in quite a good position. Loco Grizzly takes one from Bamsib. Hit points. Well, Tercios with a slight advantage. Loco Grizzly Bear, though, he's in trouble. But he's not in trouble anymore because he is dead and his worries have ceased to exist. And we're seeing Marcel Rick in the T62 Alpha get isolated. And the forces of Tercios way too split up. They were looking for B. Like I anticipated, Tercios actually did split B cover, C cap. But they were just completely outmaneuvered by PAX. Now they've got a lot of ground to recuperate, but they're holding on to hit points. They've restored the gun advantage. But they've lost it. Loco Grizzly. Well, the Pewee goes down. E3 goes down. PAX with a real opportunity to take the first win here. Tech lines up a shot. The mouse looking very low, gets a little bit of ram damage into Bamsib. Bamsib going down. Tech and Eagle. Eagle in trouble. Eagle on the wrong end of the mouse. Eagle potentially going down. Gets one in. The E3 to finish off the mouse. And now it is 3-on-2. Broker in the 268. Maselric in the 262 Alpha. 268 going down. Squash, Aksakali, and Tech. Tech with a final kill. And now Squash going, and it's a very healthy 262 Alpha. This would be the ultimate Kolobanov clutch. He's got 3,900 hit points to chew through. Squash in the chaser has got a lot of damage with Maselric's name on it. Maselric really in trouble because he won't be able to trade effectively versus Squash on a Peekaboom format, and that is how Squash is forcing him to engage. And now Tech, full health IS4. It is soon to be good night. T62 Alpha is dropping adrenaline. Tech misses. Squash gets a big hit in. Aksakali on the reload. Tech giving chase. One more shot. Maselrex going down. Aksakali lines up. Takes the shot, takes him down. And that was Pax winning through sheer weight of numbers coming down on that flank. And that was a good call by Pax. We saw Tercios doing what I thought they would do, which is make the push for C with the two mediums, but they bit off more than they could chew with 7 red Pax tanks coming in, and also meant that their heavy forces were split, looking at B and also moving into C, meant they couldn't cover those mediums effectively, and that was really the undoing of Tercios early on. And now, well, the pressure is certainly on Tercios. I don't think they would have been expecting to lose that. Certainly Pax are a team that haven't been on my radar much before this evening. But they're definitely on Tercios. Tercios' radar now. And it looks like Tercios have looked at their previous playbook, ripped it up, thrown it out the window, and said, like, look, let's just take lots of really big tanks and see what happens. And I mean, now Tercios are committing to the AB area. We'll probably see some grills sat in the backfield in the spawns. Yeah. So we're waiting now for 40 seconds. Yeah, so we're going to see the Pewee, the Grill 15 from Tercios, potentially backed up by Brooker and a TD. Well, no. Tercios are just go hard or go home, and they have decided they're going to try and go hard. That's 4 mouse tanks, a 268 and a 262 Alpha, and an E100. Love me a good E100. One of my favorite tier 10 tanks. Pax, well, they don't have a lot of flexibility in terms of the lineup here. They may struggle to push in versus that many mouse tanks, although the WZ113 is no slouch. Interesting choice with the 263. We have to see now. We really have to see, because Pax have just seen this lineup. Pax have just seen a lot of mouse silhouettes on the board, and now they're going to be thinking, okay, we know that Tercios, we know that the blue team are going for A and B. How can we counter this? Because they know that they have to take this opportunity and this advantage to go for C, but at the same time, they need to make sure that they don't lose B. Because like I was saying before, A and B are quite defensible for the right kind of lineup, and certainly if you've got 4 mouse tanks and an A100, you've got the right lineup to defend the city. Now Eagle, he was instrumental for Pax in the last game, and he is spotted up by Maselric and spots in return. Pax making a play for C. Oh my god, this is Turk in the WZ113 pushing up with confidence into C. We're seeing an early cap though. A and B. And it is many mouse tanks with lots of beautiful camouflages. And it is a double cap for Tercios. They have the cap lead. Now they have to defend like you wouldn't believe. Pax split out. Tech has taken a bit of damage in the 263. We've got here Pep and Pandemonium tying down this kind of left flank here. Loco Grizzly! Oh my goodness me. The E100 cops an absolute hammering. Where did that come from? That must have been... Was that a double tap from the WZ113s? I think it was. Looks like Brooker's going to come in to support Masselrick. He's a key player. He's going head-to-head versus Eagle. Looks like Tech in the Object 263 is going to come in for support. Masselrick needs support, otherwise Tercios are going to lose this flank. Tracked. A little bit of damage. Hit points 1,000 in the favor of the blue team. They had a huge advantage to begin with, though. But it looks like we're kind of seeing equitable damage on either side of the table. Pax, red team, 1 cap to 2. Bamsib, and oh my god, this is Turk. The WZ113s are flexing back around now to the core of the Pax forces, kind of converging here. In the red spawn. The red tanks grouping up. It'll be Eagle to lead the charge. Masselrick in the T62 Alpha for the Blues. Tercios, he's done a good job of getting to the other side of the tanks. And look at this, the cap pressure is hugely... It's ramping up. And Pax are doing things that they didn't want to have to do. And Eagle is going to take a ton of damage. Oh dear. They had to do it. Pax had to make the play. They're coming in, but they are going to get absolutely brutalized for it. Brooker, Castella, they need to hold on. They're losing A and B, though. Tercios on the ropes. Brooker's pushing in isolation. Brooker's going down. He bounces. Oh, he takes down the 263. We've got 70 cap points for Tercios to take it. Can they hold on? No, they've lost. They've lost. Brooker, oh my god, this is Turk, needs to die if Tercios is to stay in the fights. No! Bounce! Oh my goodness me! How have Pax managed this? How are they holding on? Oh my goodness, C, Masselrick, rapid capping C. Oh dearie me. And Tercios almost throwing away the game there. They are so lucky. They are so lucky. I think, for me, one of the key mistakes for Tercios was Brooker went barreling in his mouse, and Castella didn't join in the fun, and that meant that Brooker was focus fired very rapidly down. If the hit points had been shared, his gun would have stayed in the game longer. They might have been able to defend the A cap a little bit more effectively. We're now going into the tiebreaker. It's 1-for-1. I'm strongly leaning towards Pax because that was an almost beautiful comeback. They knew they had to do something. They knew the cap pressure was ticking over against them. Now we're going into Faust. And I think, given how Pax have played over the last couple of games that we've seen them versus Kraken Esports and then versus Tercios in the last two, Tercios they're in trouble, huh? They have got an uphill struggle because Pax are on form. But of course, it's a new map. We're on to Faust. It's anyone's guess how this one will go. And we've got 35 seconds looking at the lineups. Oh no, we can go this way. There we go. I'm not blocking the Pep's tank. So, Pax, a similar lineup to what we've seen before. The E50M, Mouse, 263, and then a mix of IS4s, WZ113s. It's a nice lineup because it is very flexible. It's not kind of overcommitting to one advantage. So it's good in that sense. Tercios, they're leaning towards speed and aggression. They don't have any any like pie eating, any super heavy units in the lineup. Double IS4, double WZ113 for them as well. But instead of the 263, they've got a 268, and they've got a Batrac 25T instead of a Mouse. Now, Faust is a 4-cap map. You've got, it's the same music from Himmelsdorf. Anyway, we've got CBD, kind of that cluster, that triple cap cluster is brutally important. There we go. Missile launching off into space. It's super important, and I think it looks like Tercios are going for the triple cap. Pax are making their way towards A. Loco Grizzly playing a nice passive spotting game. He'll probably light up Eagle. He does. Doesn't connect. Gets spotted on the firing. And actually Tercios are throwing away a cap lead. They've got C. They didn't quite get into D. I thought they were moving much harder than they were. Pax sending the 263 alone. Pax now with the cap advantage. And the pressure is on for both teams here. It's do or die. The winner of this match goes through to face Eros. The loser is knocked out. No chance of getting to the pros. We've got Brooker, Cotila, Pep all pushing in. And this is a good counter push. Tech. He's in trouble. Connects in Cotila. Gets trapped by Brooker. Oh, he's doing a good job. Gets a key reset on. Bamsib's coming in. And let's see. We'll go through. Oh, wow. We'll go up randomly. Great defense here by Pax of D, but they are going to lose it. That will shift the pressure over in the favor of Tercios. Pax. Oh, Cotila's looking low. Tech is pushing on that 1-3. Doesn't quite connect. It costs him. Now Bamsib's chasing the kill. He gets a bounce as well. Tech looking for the kill shot on Cotila. Doesn't get it. Doesn't take it. Bounces. Pep has the kill. No. The Pewee has it. And now it's 2 caps on 2, but there's a gun advantage for Tercios. They're also, well, hit points are neck and neck. It's a 2-gun advantage. We're seeing everything happening here. Aksakalai coming in. Pandemodium's in trouble. Misut with the kill. No ram kill. Oh, there's a big brawl breaking down around D here. Pax could be returning the momentum in their favor. Loco Grizzly Bear needs to come in to support. Aksakalai taking a lot of damage. It's a 3-4 on 1. How is Brooker hanging on? He's not hanging on anymore. And now we're seeing a 5 on 4. Pax are doing a great job. It's a 4 on 4. But Tercios still with a solid hit point lead here. 1.5, but they're about to lose Loco Grizzly to Misut. Manages to get a shot in. He needs to angle up that front plate. Great angling. A little bit lucky. Oh my god, this is Turk with the kill shot. Picks it up. Oh my god, this is Turk. It's a 2 on 3. Tercios, they've managed. Masselrek gets a bounce. He's got one more in the chamber. It's got Misut's name on it. It is delivered. Oh my god, this is Turk. We'll get another shot. It's a low roll though into Masek. Pep putting the pressure on. Oh my god, this is Turk. It's a 3 on 1. Aksakalai, great sportsmanship there. Masselrek with the drum reload coming in. That's 1, 2. And will he get the third one in? I think he will. It's not enough. The Pewee, the 268, delivers the final nail. And Tercios almost losing it on the brawl around D. Coming out on top though on the DPM exchange. Really momentum and lead shifting from team to team. Tercios with the early cap pressure though, I think that forced Pax into positions that they didn't necessarily want to take but had to in order to maintain a chance. But look at this Masselrek. We only saw him there at the end, but he was obviously harrying Pax from all around the battlefield. Huge damage numbers, pushing 5k at this late stage in the qualifying tournament. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Just going to try and move the song along one because I'm not enjoying this music that's playing at the moment. Oh, it's not doing it. Alright, fair enough. Well, we'll have to reset. There we go. Wonderful. So, Tercios narrowly beating Pax. I really thought Pax had them, but great flex and adaptation by Tercios to, well, go super heavy in the second game on Port Bay, and then obviously the Batchat 25T was a superior choice to Pax's mouse. The mobility on Faust, I said it's a very strange map. There's lots of open spaces, there's lots of room for flexing, rotating forces through, over ramps, through strange like little tunnels. It's different, and it really, like, a maneuverable team has a little bit of an edge on Faust. So, oh, we've got a thing to open. Let's go and open that thing. More boosters, yay me. So let's see. Let's see when the next match is. I think it's very soon. Oh no, that's the next match. Okay, it's in 15 minutes. Oh dear. Well, we can see that Exegy beat First again. Beat them 2-1 this time. So Exegy now, they lost to R2K when they faced them first. So they'll be looking for a rematch to settle those scores. So it's Exegy versus R2K in Group 1. Group 2. Who is next? Beat Oops. Now they're in the grand finals versus Evil Unicums. That was the team that we were meant to be following this evening. Obviously, we're not. We're following Eros. So my apologies to the guys from Finland. I really hoped I'd be able to cover you for this evening's matches. Alas, it was not to be. So they're going in for a rematch against Evil Unicums. Evil Unicums, of course, dispatching Win 2-0 the last time they faced them. Win are a good team. It's not written in stone yet. There's still everything to play for. Round 3. First Alliance are playing FBI. FBI dispatching Deadly Skill 2-0. So it's an FBI First Alliance final. Group 4, Loka beat BTR, which is good. Well, Loka, of course, losing. Bit of a surprise loss out to BTR in the first match, 2-1. Settling the score is now going to play Souls in the grand final. Souls not having actually played Loka yet. So that will be the toughest opponent for Souls so far in their campaign. So that's a very tough. I mean, I would say R2K firm favourites to beat Exegy. That would be a bit of an upset if Exegy beat R2K. Evil Unicums on paper are better than Win, but we know that Win are very active and train a lot in Clan Wars. So that's a close one to call. First Alliance versus FBI. First Alliance, again, favourites on paper, looking at the pedigree, but FBI very, very active over the last couple of months at the beginning of 2019. Tough one to call. Souls, Loka, your guess is as good as mine. That's a 50-50. Then looking here, who are Hapki playing? Hapki are playing Unicums. They beat them 2-1 before. Unicums, of course, dispatching ESA. My condolences to the Tinko's ESA and his teammates. Ghost Edley, the Coward, great guys. A very tough group for them there with Hapki, Unicums. That's the end of their campaign. But it is Unicums versus Hapki. We're expecting Unicums to win, but Hapki have done it once before. They can do it again, but best of 3. It's brutal. No room for error. Group 5, we know it's Tercios versus Eros. Eros, of course, beating Tercios 2-0 in the first encounter that they had against them. That was Eros' last match. Tercios having since been through and beat Pax to kind of get their way for the to get their right for a rematch, so to speak. Group 7, ooh, LXN. Oh, LXN beat US, and they were close to beating APA, but they didn't quite make it. And it'll be APA to play Raid. APA, are they a German team? Raid was saying that it's an all-German final. Polish. Advanced Polish armor. So that will be one to watch. APA obviously don't have Raid's pedigree. Raid are the defending world champions. Oof, that was a tough. Group 7 was tough, huh? Now in Group 8, WinterWar beat HE49 and lost to Imor 2-1 defeat. So the guys from WinterWar get knocked out. The only Finnish clan remaining. Who is next? And the grand finals here will be Easy versus Imor. Of course, Easy beating Imor 2-1. So we're seeing a lot of rematches in the grand finals. Of course, the one we'll be following will be Eros. My good lord. Let's see if we can bring that one up. Those matches, it's a best of 3 again. Normandy, Dynasty's Pearl. Now, I don't know about you, but I have seen very little. We've got 8 minutes to go. I have seen very little Normandy. So let's bring that map up. Does it exist? That's the question. It does exist. Oh, that's kind. It's on StratSketch. Let's get that map up for us to talk about. Supremacy. All right. There we go. Okay. Okay, we're here. This is Normandy. It's the newest. It's the newest map. I think it's the newest map. I'm sure it's the newest map. It must be the newest map. It's a great map. If you take a Dracula of all of the speed bonuses, you can actually get under the plane if you spawn in the right place before it lands. Don't know what that does, but that's what I've been told. So feel free to try that out in a training room. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Normandy, of course, you've got this beach area here, which is so basically the whole map is like that. So this CD area is really elevated, and as you go towards the beach, you're basically going downhill. Control the high ground, as Obi-Wan would say. Well, I have the high ground, whatever. There's a real advantage to kind of controlling this area. It means even with your heavy tanks, you can respond much quicker to enemy pushes into your territory. If you're playing from the kind of this area here, you've got the terrain resistance working against you. Driving uphill, unless you're in a very fast, very slippy tank, it's slow going. Now, the CD area, this is where you'll see a lot of heavy brawling, TDs firing across from the various different towns or buildings, whatever that are happening around here. B is a great place to spot from. It's very central, and it's got an actually surprisingly good. You can actually spot most of the enemy team if you get here quickly, but you have to be very careful that you don't catch a lot of damage for your troubles. A is a nice kind of flanking cap. I think the beach is rarely used in Blitz. I'd be very interested to see like the heat maps of where tanks go, but I don't expect to see anyone on the beach here. But again, you know, this is a new map, and I haven't really seen it used in Clan Wars and tournaments, so I don't know what the meta is, and I think maybe the teams don't know what the meta is. And so this really favors teams that can adapt, that are experienced, and that can communicate and work well together. Certainly there's not a like kind of a strat that you can pull from a Russian forum that can save your bacon in this one. It's really about the team as a unit, how it works, kind of pulling and synergizing all the different individual skill elements together. So yeah, I'm thinking the beach should be a no-go area. People need to kind of keep in mind, though, to make sure that they don't get flanked from the kind of this A area or the beach in general. We'll expect TDs to operate out the backfield, Russian medium, Russian heavies, maybe the E50M or like an American medium playing kind of this area, and the heavy brawl to be happening around C and D. Interested to see whether it comes down to cap pressure or And we're just waiting for the invite now. We've got the invite. Let's get the this one up. Okay, we've got Eros versus Turcios rematch. This is best of 3. First team to 2 victories takes it. Super, super, super important. I mean, the professionals tournament, it's the biggest event on the Blitz esports calendar 2019 so far. The teams have made it through the group stage, now the final stage. They're here, and all of that will be for nothing if they lose this match, and they will then be, you know, back into the Ascent and the top echelon championship. And there are a lot of big names from the EU server that have made it to this stage. A lot of big names as well that haven't actually made it to this stage. So we'll be really expecting I don't know. It's gonna be good. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to this. So we're just waiting now. We've got 3 minutes. I'm wondering what tanks we're going to see. I mean, I'm assuming that Eros are not taking 4 TDs, but you never know. So if you have any thoughts about this meta, about Normandy, if you've played it in any tournaments recently, or if you've been testing it out in training rooms with your clanmates, in kind of friendly scrimmages, you know, test battles and things, please do chip in with your thoughts in the chat. What are you expecting to see? Because I, for one, have no idea, and I refuse to believe that Eros are taking 4 TDs. But you never know. I can see it. I mean, there are the fire lanes. There is the kind of the buildings to play from. But I mean, really, 4 TDs? Not sure. Okay. And people are discussing the history of Eros. Eros is predominantly Legion's big game team. Of course, the big game team was kind of a separate entity within the Legion clan, had its own Discord server. It operated rather independently, but used the Legion banner as a bit of stability during the recruitment process. And then obviously after Twister 2018 went its own separate ways. We saw Legion kind of free fall into decline, inactivity, and as we were talking about earlier on the stream, a lot of Legion players have then splintered off, and have joined other active clan war teams around. But history of Eros aside, Turcios with a very interesting lineup, assuming that they're readying up. I think Eros are taking Batchat, W3, 140, 268's IS4. Turcios quadruple IS4 is backed up by 263, 215B and a FV4202. That would be very interesting. That would be very interesting indeed, because I would really... this would be the first time that I've seen the FV4202 used at a high level of tournament play, seriously. Maybe it's the map, maybe Maselric is great in the tank. I mean, the Hesh has got a lot of utility in randoms, but I don't think, you know, the turret of the 4202, it's just not... It's very unforgiving, and it's a very difficult tank to play well when you're up against extremely competent players, such as Eros. But of course, both teams proving they've got what it takes to be here. Turcios looking for that rematch, stacking 6 IS4s. We've got 8 seconds. Cotila and Alf to ready up. It's 6 IS4s and a T62 Alpha. And they are ready. And going in, and I mean, 4 TDs, 6 heavy tanks. Your guess is as good as mine as how this one is going to pan out. And we are in now for the only match, or the only round that counts at the end of the day. And there's that plane soaring in on a broken wing into the battleground. Boom. And Veta with an early cap into C. We're seeing Maselric play this sort of B area. He's going to be looking for some nice juicy spots. Not really picking up anything. Eros stacked deep on the top of the map. Nico, though, 268, spotting the A area in here. He's isolated, but at the same time, it will be quite easy for Eros to get in and round. Shock in the 140 Invader, flexing around B. Shock's lit up a lot of the enemy team. Last is going to be relying on those TDs for cover fire. He's calling for fire on the Pewee. Last is in trouble. Eros. Oh, there's a nice, very angry IS-4 push coming. And now we've seen it's the Iron Fist of Tercios. Last is in trouble. He is running. And it is costing. Oh my goodness me. Tercios are getting farmed into oblivion by Eros. Last is still alive. How the dickens has he survived? He's even putting out damage. It's the first gun down. But Eros have knocked a lot of Tercios tanks into very unfavorable positions. They're leading in terms of hit points. Cap points, though, are going to slowly go in the favor. Oh, nice shot by Vater. Karolek gets Loka. Grizzly. Vater now flanking. He's looking for that T62 Alpha. Head not on a swivel, though. Gets one in. Looking for two. Gets it. NG. Nice pink camouflage. Very phallic. Gets one into Maselric. And now Vater's on the reload. And it looks like Eros have done this very well. Those 4 TDs absolutely spanked NG with the kill shot. Absolutely spanked the heavy Iron Fist of Tercios. And now Karolek. He's looking for Brooker. Brooker's looking to get round. Brooker from Vater, though. It's NG. And that is a beautiful game by Eros. Those 4 TDs. I mean, Eros had the lineup selected 5 minutes in. Played to perfection. We saw Nico playing in the back corner down towards the spawn, looking out over A and the beach area, making sure that Eros knew there wasn't anything coming there. We saw poor Last in the IS4 really had the I mean, he had such an important role to play, and he played it very well. Great pushing back past the IS4s, bought the TDs in the backfield for Eros more time to inflict more damage on Tercios. Super important role. Not the most fun one, though, being the sacrificial lamb of the team, but sometimes it's needed. Vater and Shock just running absolute mayhem with the mobility and the DPM and relying on the TDs for covering fire. Very disruptive format. Tercios, it was a very simple strategy. It was a Russian medium, 6 IS4s, very strong tanks, but really not suited to go toe-to-toe against a gun line of 4 TDs. Particularly played very strategically by Eros, sat on the back line. We got 45 seconds to go. It looks like Eros are saying, look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Although they have dropped one of the 268s for an IS4. So they're altering that gun line slightly, leaning towards a more forward-focused approach. Not sure how they're going to play it. No idea what the meta on Normandy is. Tercios dropping one of the IS4s for an E50M, but still relying on that core quintuple IS4 formation to do most of the legwork for the team. Match point to Eros. If Eros win this one, they're through to the professionals tournament. I'm dying. We can hang in there. and then we'll have some strepsils or some lozenges or whatever, and we'll be up for the North America server later on this evening. But we're not there yet. We're waiting for players. Eros red team North Spawn versus Tercios blue team South Spawn match point grand finals. Final stage of the qualifiers for the professional tournament. Eros making their way to D. We're seeing NG, the 268 this time, taking the spot that Nico had last game. Veta going to D. He went to C in the previous map. Shock also going to D. Veta spotted. Shock spotted as well. Masselrick looking for crossfire. Does he have an angle? No, he doesn't. He's got cover. No damage done. Pandemonium and Brooker capping off C. They're backed up by Pep. It's triple IS4 on C. There's an interesting split here. Tercios' forces, we've got the other IS4s and the E50M and Masselrick going for B. We're going to see a cap lead here. Veta's bit off more than he can chew. Oh, Veta. That building came out of nowhere. That really left him in a bit of a disadvantaged position. Did get the stop on B, though. Now, Eros, they're doing a little bit of damage. They're not really stopping B. Alf and Cotila looking to cap B. Looks like Alf has got the cap points. And that is cap pressure for Tercios. Tercios can pull back. Cotila pushing in. He wants Veta. You can tell he wants Veta. Masselrick at the same time. He is tapping up NG. That's the second shot he's put in. NG's in a bit of trouble here. He's not really, and Masselrick's pulling out. That's fortunate for NG. We're seeing Eros on the back foot here. They're behind by about 2,000 hit points. They've also got one cap to 2. Looks like we're going to see a push. RG doing nasty things. The Pandemonium is bleeding hit points. Eros are dropping the hammer. Veta with, well, he's got 2 in the chamber. He's looking, and this is the disruption. The 140, the Batchat 25T getting in behind, dropping the DPM on top of the IS4s. That opens up the doors for Nico, RG, and everyone to come in. And we're seeing the brawl start. And it's first gun advantage to Eros. They brought the cap points back in, the hit points back in their favor. They've lost Veta, though, but they have taken down Pandemonium. Brooker is the next call. Shock in the 140. Well, RG takes down Loco Grizzly. Shock just running rampant. Cotila, he'll take a hit. Take 2. Oh, it's 5 on... It's 5 on some tanks. 5 on 2. Eros with a wonderful, wonderful push there executed. Flexing the fast tanks over and across. Karolek wants that kill. He wants it. He gets it. And the last man standing is Masselrick. 686 from RG. RG going for the ram kill. Not getting it. Karolek with another kill. And it is Eros 2-0 versus Tercios. Tercios with a great play getting B and D caps. Kind of pushing in from A. I think the mistake was they stretched their guns too far. Eros, they had all of the slow heavy tanks at the top near C, and they were able to bring the 140 and the Batchat 25T in around the top of C, get into the backfield behind D, start opening up all of their, like, the Clipper DPM and the Batchat, the brutal DPM of the 140 into the side of the heavy tanks from Tercios on D, and then as soon as they turned to try and engage those fast tanks, meant that the double IS4, double E3 from Eros could just push in over the top, and the 2 IS4s down by B weren't quick enough to get in and join that brawl happening around the D area. And that's what we're talking about. This kind of control of momentum, high ground, terrain resistance seems to be an absolutely key mechanic on Normandy. Eros executing it perfectly. And you can see Shock, that 140, I mean, basically gets a full minute's worth of DPM into the Blues, into Tercios. Very good effort by Tercios in both games. But Eros, always the favourites on paper, always the ones to beat. And showing that they are still top of the pile when it comes to General Clan Wars. Of course, now they're going to be going through into the Professionals Tournament, and that is another ball game altogether because it is 8 of the best teams going head to head. And oh my goodness me. That is the end. I mean, there's probably some more games going on. We'll have a look at the chart, but that is the end of this evening's fixtures. We won't be seeing any more games tonight on the EU server. There is another stream scheduled for God knows what time in the morning in CEST, where we're covering, hopefully, rain in the North American server. So fingers crossed for that one. If you are enjoying the video, please do hit the like button, a little thumb up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, I want to stay up to date and tuned in for more Clan Wars content throughout the Professionals Tournament, where I will be following Eros. Please do subscribe to the channel. That would be much appreciated. Also, the link to my Discord channel is in the video description below. So that's the kind of the formalities out the way. Now let's do the fun bit, and let's just see like who else got through, because oh my, isn't that half the fun? And we're still going. They're still playing. R2K is still playing Exegy. It's not finished as quickly. Evil Unicums still playing Who Is Next. First Alliance still playing FBI. I think we had one of the quickest games. Loka still playing Souls. Hapki still playing Unicums. Eros, of course, beating Tercios, and that was one of the quickest. Seems like all the other games are either very long 2-0 results, or they're going to a tiebreaker, which is encouraging. Raid, Appa, Raider through, of course. 2-0. Poor advanced polished armor getting matched against Raid is not what anyone wants. Easy and Imor. Easy! Oh, Easy taking Imor 2-0 in the grand finals. So we've got Easy, Raid, Eros through to the top 8. We're looking like a very, very similar Twister 2018 online top 8 at the moment. Certainly we've got 3. I mean, if you consider Eros, it's not quite the big game team. But it's mostly Legion's big game team. So we're looking at a very similar lineup so far. Got 3 out of 5 results confirmed. We've got Easy, Raid, Eros. So groups 8, 7, and 6 are confirmed. We're still waiting on... This one will be a new result. This one will be a new result. Group 5 will be a new result. Loka were also in the online top 8 of Twister 2018. So if they beat Souls, we'd still be seeing this. First Alliance also in the top 8. FBI, New Kids on the Block, still playing. Evil Unicums, an interesting team. They've got some First Alliance players, some new players. So I mean, this is whoever wins this out of the Evil Unicums and win, that would be not the same as the online top 8, so that's encouraging. It doesn't want to load. It doesn't want to load. Oh, they're still playing. I can't take the suspense. And R2K still playing. So basically, we've got 5 results to come in. I'm going to hang around just to confirm those so I can at least know who our top 8 professional tournament players are, or tournament teams, are for the EU server. And Aquad asks, do I get spring coins from this? No, sorry, you don't get coins from this. If you get coins from a video, it will be announced beforehand. The details will be in the description. And I will be telling you about how to do it properly, how to get coins throughout the stream. So I'm very sorry there are no coins for this stream, but I believe that there are coins for all of the streams, or at least from one stream per fixture date throughout the professionals tournament. So for example, if Amanat, I, Martin Dogger, Skate and Rib are all streaming, only one stream would be giving coins, unlike the Twister 2018 top 8 online finals where all the streams gave all the coins and people, basically smart people, had like 3 or 4 streams open at the same time, and we just like, thank you, I will take all of the coins. Thank you, please. Okay, God, let's go back in. Archie still playing. I can't handle this. Still playing. Those two are very close. First Alliance FBI. Still playing. Loca Souls still playing. Hapkey Unicums. Hapkey! Well. Color me surprised. Did not see that one coming. Unicums. I mean, big names here. Specialist Massive, the Reckitt, Eddie Bang Bang, Unicums really, but I mean, at the same time, a lot of people from different clans, different backgrounds that maybe haven't been playing together as long as Hapkey players have been, forming a similar, like Easy was in the Twister Online Finals, the top 8. Easy was kind of an amalgamation of lots of really good players. So, quite surprising to see Unicums. Yeah, I mean, great to see the players together here, big names on campus. But then at the same time, Hapkey, I mean, I'm not seeing like any huge, like anybody that really jumps out at me from the clan, but they've got some Arrow and Blitz I recognize for sure. Jerker HD, I can smell tomato. So Hapkey are through. They're in the pros. That is interesting. That is very interesting. So at the moment it's Hapkey, Eros, Raid, and Easy. And now we're just waiting for the other 4 groups to resolve. I mean, what are your bets? Who do you think is going to go through? I don't know what I think. Who would I like to go through? I'm good friends with a lot of the guys in Loca. So I would quite like Loca to go through. But I'm expecting Souls to go through. Also, I'm good friends with FBI, but I'm expecting First Alliance to go through. Very good friends with Win, and also in the Heroes clan. I would like Win to go through. I think that it would be good to have. They train so hard. They really work at the clan WoT stuff. It would be great to see them make a big tournament like the professionals. But I think Evil Unicums beat them before. I think Evil Unicums will go through. And I want R2K to go through, and I think they will. You know, they're a really solid unit. They've done really well in lots of tournaments before. They had a really tough break against Raid in the top 8 online Twister 2018. I think they finished top of the pile, like they were the #1 team from the round robin stage. Like, we know they can deliver. So let's check. R2K getting the first point put against them. Exegy, they beat them 2-0. They beat them 2-1. They had to go to the tiebreaker on Dynasty's Pearl. We've got R2K, and those are the names we all know and love. Zerd, the One Mo, Winch, Edgar, a former Tercios player, I believe. Deniek, No Party, Without Me. General, The Honor, Object 3. I mean, some scary win rates in that pile of players. So R2K from Group 1. Eros, Evil Unicums, and who are next? Still playing. First Alliance and FBI. Oh, my condolences, FBI. First Alliance beating them 2-1. I said I wanted FBI to go through, but I thought First Alliance would do it. Right, but disappointed. But, you know, this is the nature of competition. Now we're just waiting on Loca Souls. I want Loca, but I think Souls. That's, yep. 2-1, Loca pipped as well. So we've got Souls, First Alliance, R2K, Hapkey, Easy, Raid, Eros. We're just waiting for the last result. It's who is next versus Evil Unicums. That will be coming through any minute now. It will be a 2-1 score for sure. But it's really going down to the wire. So who has won the tiebreaker? Obviously they played on Normandy first. They played on Normandy, and now they've gone through to the next Dynasty's Pearl. I think is the tiebreaker. Dynasty's Pearl. They're playing a tiebreaker on Dynasty's Pearl. They've gone 1-for-1 on Normandy. We're just waiting for that last result. Well, let's actually have a look at Souls. I haven't actually really checked out their roster. There's no real names here that I'm recognizing. That's probably because people have renamed. Certainly, at least Pan Major, Frog, Sultan, and Seber have all renamed to the Pan format, whatever that is. My heart is in my mouth. I was hoping to follow Win. Are they beating Unicums? Have Unicums beat them? I don't know. I don't know. It's still happening. Come on. Like, this is probably going down to the last 30 seconds of the tiebreaker round. I am. Let's just click out. Let's go to the garage. Let's decline the platoon invites. Let's accept the friend request. We love friend requests. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to the professionals tournament. Let's put it that way. There are some. It's going to be very, very toughly contested. R2K, Raid, Eros, Hapki, Easy, First Alliance, Souls, 7. I mean, there is no weak team there. I mean, Hapki, I'm surprised. That's the first sort of surprise for me. They're ones that I didn't predict. Similarly, Souls, I didn't predict them. I made the predictions about Souls getting through before we saw the group structure for the final stage, the games we've seen this evening. So, I mean, you know, this is really something. Okay. I want that last result. I really want that last result. We don't have it yet. What madness is this? We're just waiting for one. We're waiting for this one. And there's nothing. My Discord hasn't exploded. So, I mean, maybe I can check on Blitz Assistant. Oh, I failed to load data. Great. Oh, no. I think... No, it's still going. Okay, Blitz Assistant has crashed. We're waiting for that result. Is this even possible? Maybe it is. This must be going down to the wire. I'm going to have to go and consult with Win. That's a good reminder. That is a good reminder. So we're just waiting now. We're really waiting. Okay, we're ready for to end the stream. I mean, has this match happened? I'm starting to think maybe the match hasn't happened, because it would have started almost half an hour ago. Minute and a half. The results must be in. That's... Okay, let's just... Has it happened? Has the match happened? I'm now consulting with Win because... Oh! No invites. Interesting. So basically, in the reason why we don't have results yet is because no invites have been received for the grand finals of Group 2. So Evil Unicums and Who Is Next haven't played yet. And we are going to take our role as CC. Okay, I've informed Wargaming. I have done what I can. We obviously, no invites have been received, so no games have been played. We would have expected the games to be finished by now. I had to go and consult with the guys from Win, and they confirmed that no invites were received. So that is very interesting indeed. So now we're just doing a little bit of admin work. All right. So we've done what we can. There's no more games to play. We know 7 of the group results. However, we don't know who is through from Group 2 because the game hasn't played yet, because the matchmaker or the invites, whatever, has been bugged. Which is interesting. Not ideal. Will be interesting to see how we fix that one. But basically now, I am going to go and take a break. I'm absolutely knackered. Do love the friend request though. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I know there's a little bit of downtime between matches. I hope you found at least the map analysis and kind of going through the tournament brackets with me. It hasn't been as dull as watching paint dry. At least that's my hope. But we do have the professionals tournament coming up. Tonight though, I'll be back in 4 or 5 hours time. God knows how long it'll be. We'll be covering the Rain Clan from North America as they do their final stage. So that's more entertainment for tonight. The next streams will be next Saturday. We'll be following the beginning of the professionals tournament for Europe. I'll be following the Eros Clan team that we've been following tonight. And also, hopefully, the Rain Clan team if they qualify for the professionals in North America. Of course, North America, everything's still to play for. The final stage hasn't begun yet. So thank you for tuning in as always. It's been my pleasure to be streaming for you this evening. Looking forward to seeing you all again very soon in the near future. This is RollingSwarm. Signing off for now. My stream deck is dead for whatever reason. Probably need to reset. But yeah, looking forward to seeing you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.
Taistelu jaska. Taistelu jaska. Jaska, jaska. Taistelu jaska. Jaska, jaska. Taistelu jaska. Taistelu jaska. Jaska, jaska. Isä, isä. Oi.